Hello, everyone. Giving it just a second for everything to build up, and I'm going to get the messages out so that we hopefully start getting some people in here for live. And right, let's switch over. Welcome back to Harvestella Host Club. We had a bit of a issue yesterday. We were going to finish up chapter 6, and then right before the boss fight, we were just leaving the house, the farmhouse here to with new food and stuff. The game crashed on us, but what we could save. So we're going to get those food items we were looking at. Let's see. It was definitely this one. Let's see. Slash damage up for the fighter. If we use that, we'll use this one because we're going to use the Woglins. We switch that out. That one's a good one for the crit rate up. And we'll use that for the physical defense. So we have some boss fighting foods. So our question of the day, yesterday's was, what do you most like about Harvestella? Today we're going to do the opposite end, and it's what do you least like about Harvestella? And of course, it's showing us that we got our thing. We had to restart the entire frickin' day. So yeah, we just got our Willem pen, and we've got two letters in here from the mayor saying, "Yep, here's some seeds. We heard you got your stuff. We'll close those." This was talking about how you can buy the things and stellar wheat seeds. All right, these are side quests or character quests related stuff. We'll look at those later. I do want to do what we were gonna do in the first place, and that is finish the frickin' chapter today. Since we had that, it was late enough in the game or in the day that it was like, you know what, it's gonna take longer to redo it, and I was already hungry, so we called it a day on that. So let's water some crops. We'll see about upgrading our. See, we were going to sell one of each of coconut juice and coconut milk to see which one makes more money for us. Do, 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 do. Apple juice is great for the floor damage, as we learned showed off last time. Hold on to coconut juice. That's on that. And all of these. Part of what we're doing is we're waiting long enough so we can go into town to, if we can afford it, upgrade our weapons. And my cat is being a dork with the door. He's pulling the I want in, I want out kind of routine. So, in the meantime, let's see. We have anything we want to make into juice? No, we don't have anything we have enough of for the 9. So we'll just make do that way. One of those oh, right. One of those, and dessert maker, boom. And let's upgrade our jobs if we can. Mage. Yeah, we took that off because it was kind of pointless, so we'll put that. We swatched out for Woodland for the buffing. Unfortunately, we haven't maxed that one out. That one's got a good healing at the top tier. But let's see, since we were doing that, let's check our biomes. But yeah, so yesterday I was talking about like the thing I most like about this game is probably the job class system. That's something that I always enjoy from Square Enix titles when they do have that multiple jobs that you can switch. Um, but my least like is just the variety. I mean, outside of the job class system, you have no variety. It's Skyrim, especially with the Hearthfire DLC, or nowadays if you've got the Anniversary Edition, which adds in farming and fishing and all that, is a better representation of a farming life sim hybrid with an RPG that is heavy on the RPG sides. And people are like, "Oh, that's not fair because that's a successful series and blah blah blah." And it's like, okay, those are not aspects that were typical of that, and some of them are mods. Hearthfire was actual legitimate DLC, but then they created a Curation Club to get with modders. So okay, that's kind of maybe not fair, but at the same time, this is Square Enix. No, this is not their preferred genre. I went to the wrong store. Um, this is not their usual genre with adding in the farming and life sim elements. But JRPG side is, and the JRPG side of this is not that great. It's very Square Enix in that you can be like, oh yeah, there's the religious themes, there's the anti-religious themes, etc., etc. So there's issues with it. It's perfectly acceptable, but it's not good enough. It's not, Persona or not Persona. You have a Persona 5 or Shin Megami Tensei, uh, 3 Nocturne, or almost anything Mega 10 where you have like replayability and you want the different endings. Um, and Atlas is probably their biggest competitor for Square Enix. Um, there's no new game plus. You have post game, which is when you unlock the ability to marry one of your party members, of the human ones. Like you can't do Dianthus. I don't know that you can do Cress, even though she's got her character quest chain. Um, but there's just not the thing here to this game doesn't have the substance to it that I feel that I want to keep coming back and playing it after I finish it. And unfortunately, I've almost basically finished it. I literally have just one boss fight left on my other playthrough, which I've been delaying because I've also been grinding up all the jobs for my class guide. But, you know, so yeah, but I mean, we've heard my views on this game enough. I wish it was better. I hope that they try to continue the series and do better in the future with it. But I'm not impressed with what we got. I'm very disappointed with what we got, basically. So hopefully better in the future. And that's what I hope for. But after this, we finish up in a few more weeks. Um, end of February at the latest, hopefully. Then we will move on, and I don't know. I've got to do a sometime this week. I'll make a Google forum thing. Oh, we had issues with this room yesterday that preserved the plant guy kept respawning on me. Like he would just vanish and respawn right here in this room. And it's like there's no room. It's not like I ran out of the room or anything. But the game is really need a some patching. And here we are 2, 3 months down the road and it hasn't been patched once yet. I don't remember. Let me see. Okay, I think we need to do this way. We got that open already. So up we go. Just trying to remember this route. But yeah, we definitely are gonna finish this dungeon up today. Oops, wrong element. Thought we were on frost for some reason. But yeah, we'll get through these guys. We'll get to the top. We'll fight the boss, and then after that, we'll be doing character quests the rest of today. And side quests. There's some side quests that we need to finish up in some of the various cities. But for now, let's try. Finish these guys off. Do, 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 do. Just kicking butt. Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to other games. In that it's kind of my thing. You know, but yeah, like Skyrim. I've been playing a lot of Skyrim in my free time lately. I finally got it. My DLL issue. I was talking yesterday. I had my one of my SKSE was having issues loading something because of the engine fixes mod was not fully downloaded properly. It was missing something, so it was missing a couple of the DLLs. So I got that fixed, and it's been playing much better now. And I'm playing a. If you're familiar with Fudge Muppet, they had a build kind of similar to what I've made, which is a Dunmer adherent of uh, Mafala. I'm not a member of the Thieves Guild or the Brotherhood or anything like that. I haven't joined any of the factions in the game yet, even though I'm like level 19 or 20. I've been more focused on my character's like an Ashliner, so she's been running around trying to survive. I'm playing with survival mode and all that good stuff. And here we go. We are going to save here this time. We didn't save before we left, but let's save. And we went like we from yesterday. We ran from. If you weren't watching, we teleported back to home to get some more food for this fight. And oh, I don't want those there. Move to there. Move to there. All right. I don't remember what this boss is, let alone what their weaknesses are. So I don't know if we have the right class for it. Feel something unusual up ahead? Continue on. I guess we could have done this yesterday, but this should be the top floor. What are those? I don't remember this at all. Oh, right. Yes, I do. People with wings. So some of Paradise's monsters were left here, were they? I'll take on the front line. Harvey, you and your team pummel the pig guys. Do you really think we're going to trust you? Well, you won't be able to take on such a large group of them by yourself. It would be wise to join forces. Harvey, I think we should take Guy's sword on this one. I agree. Whatever, let's get him. Rawr. Oh, you're not taking damage from fire or slash, doesn't look like. Oh, gotta run, gotta run, gotta run. Oh, he's taking the continual damage at least. Well, that's not a good thing. Oh, eat the food. Wow, none of these are doing any damage. Or, they're doing damage, but they're not breaking him. Oh, now I remember this guy. Oh, or blast me. You got the physical and the magical, so something like this I should be going to, like, fighting him with the Wuglint. Because he's weak to magic. Or not. I guess he just resists everything. I'm remembering this fight now. It's annoying. Well, we managed to stop its thing, at least, you know. But we're not doing anything if its elemental damages, so that sucks. We're not getting to be able to break it. None of my classes can do that. Yeah, this fight's annoying. Just because you can see how large of an area it hits at. We're just trying to kick its butt and not necessarily succeeding. Oh, dang it. Yeah, this one's weak to everything. And this one's resists everything, apparently. Yeah, it's not a tough boss, it's just an annoying one. Well, you can manage to always keep it from doing its big, uh, overall attack and whatnot. So, there's that. Yeah, we never managed to break it. That's annoying, but it is what it is. We took some good classes in there that were useful for what it was. And nobody notices the giant thing trying to get back up or making noise. Hurry! Swing! That was close. I couldn't allow any of you to die. Not a single life should go to waste. I mean, that's rich coming from you. Very hearty sass. It doesn't seem to be getting through to you that I'm a different personality now, does it? Anyway, there shouldn't be any more obstacles from now on. Excuse me, Supervisor of Paradise. Could you read the data on that terminal for me, please? We might cause a bug in the ethical circuit if we try and read it. I might end up like my old personality again as well. Sure. And while they're doing that, I'm going to let my cat out because he's going to want out and then in a minute he's going to want back in. Is that what ruins your old personality? I believe it played a part. Anyway, why did you bring us here? What has this place got to do with us? Your people can't be free from the world either. How do you think your world was created? I'll show you. The data have finished loading. Paradise Journal, The Race to Heaven. It says it's a storytelling program that describes paradise on Earth from start to finish. Well then, Arya, let's start by cleaning up one pivotal misunderstanding. Which misunderstanding? Your theory is that you experienced some kind of time disaster while you were investigating the Red Queen and time traveled to an earlier period. Is that correct? Yes. Well, Supervisor, could you tell us what time we're in according to the Paradise Journal? Result. It is approximately 57,600,000 accumulated standard time. That is the year AD 4108 when converted to the human calendar. Huh? Arya, what time period were you living in? It was AD 2078. But hold on. That still doesn't disprove my theory. That could just mean that the pod was a time machine and I came into the distant future instead. That would explain why everything is in such disrepair now. That theory would be viable if the pod was a time machine. But it has no such function. It does not travel through time. How can you be so sure of that? Because it was we who designed the pod. In the end, time travel was never possible through human science. And humans forbade us from researching it. It was one of the three major thought regulations we could not break. Why would humans forbid that? What exactly are your kind capable of? I'm sorry, what? How did I end up in the past then? I got caught in a time disaster, didn't I? That's the flaw in your theory. There's no such thing as a time machine. There was no time disaster either. You've never time traveled, Arya. You're not a person from the future who has come back to the past, but rather a person from the past who has just moved forward in time in a linear fashion. What? But how? What about Hari's time? What's that then? It's simple. You didn't travel through time. You traveled through space. That only leaves one answer. The star we are all on right now. And the one where there is sees light and the castle of illusion are two different planets. Why do they keep using star and planet interchangeably? They're not the same thing. I know. I harp on this, just like I harp on the bartender as an example of He has a name, but he doesn't have a name. And there's a lot of things in this game that I harp on. What I like the least is I'm actually looking forward to being done with this game. You know, I don't like I enjoy putting on these streams and the videos for you guys, but I don't enjoy like relish coming back and playing through this game more. I don't enjoy spending the time putting it in on it. It's not something like Rune Factor. I'm like, oh yeah, I absolutely love it. There's something more for me to work on. There's something that I actually want to do. Not with this one. Different planets, or how can that be? We'll go with the first one. Different planets. This planet is Lost Gaia. It is the Earth, where humans originated, and which they abandoned during what was then called the Common Era. It has been 2,000 years since humanity left. This is historical fact. It cannot be reversed. Humanity since suspended its research into time. Time can only travel from the past into the future. What has happened cannot be reversed, and history cannot be rewritten to suit anyone. Arya. The world you lived in was lost 2,000 years ago. Chapter 6, Lost World complete. Okay. That's what we wanted to do yesterday, and then just because of the crash and all that, we didn't get around to it, so. Huh? But what? Wait, I don't understand. You're saying that the time I lived in was 2,000 years ago, and right now is 2,000 years later? Exactly. You haven't time traveled. You're not a person from the future who has traveled back in time. If anything, you came from the past. But wait, then does that mean that Arya has been alive for 2,000 years? Or is 2,000 years old? We'll go with this one. That's ridiculous. People can't live that long. That is correct. As your cells divide repeatedly, the telomeres will wear and die out after 100 years at most. That is the human lifespan. So this is why we were built, to ensure that humanity survives on into the future. Built? What does that mean? We Seth, who you call omens, are a model of high-level artificial intelligence. In other words, we are a form of intelligence that was built by humans that surpasses human intellect. Like Heinz machine? I'm gonna go with you're an artificial life because like Heinz machine makes no sense. Heinz machine is a submarine. It's not an AI. Like those giant puppets we saw in the Divine Seas-like cave and Phantasmagoria. Those are fairly antiquated models, but yes, they're along the same lines. This can't be true. You. It is true, Arya Leventhal. We are the latest generation of high-level artificial intelligence that your kind created by their own design. Although we are far more high-spec than the ones from your time period. The people of Lost Gaia entrusted us with the preservation of humankind. That is also documented in the Paradise Journal. In order to attain the continuation of the species, humanity, which was on the verge of extinction, outsourced most of its intellectual and scientific development to artificial intelligence. They thought that AI would be able to figure out a better way to preserve humanity with their superior intelligence. So they decided to outsource one of their most basic biological functions to the Seth, the continuation of species. They outsourced our continuation to AI? I can't believe it. Would humans come to such a decision? The Paradise Journal is unequivocally accurate. It is locked with AAA protection to prevent tampering. But wait. Does that mean it was your kind who kept me alive all this time? That is correct. So then, you should be able to answer this then, too. What happened to everyone else? You're right. I could answer that. And you have the right to know. So I intend to tell you. You don't have any objections to that, do you, Dianthus? No, let's invite them to the orbital cradle. Orbital cradle? I feel like I've heard that somewhere before. You should understand all of our plans when you get there. Where is the orbital cradle? Probably in orbit, based on the name. Leave Lost Gaia and go back to the original planet. Then head to the Castle of Illusion. Which we will do next time. Today, we are just going to do our character quests and side quests and taking care of the farm and yada yada yada. Same as we did on Sunday last week. That's our Sunday goal for the foreseeable future until we get the heck out of this game and into something else. And if we beat the main story, but we still have other guides that I'm working on, then I might do like one day a week working on this and one day a week of whatever game we move on to next, which will probably be Rune Factory. But I'll put the vote out there, let you guys decide. You know, don't want to come off as some tyrannical tyrant or whatever. Let's see. Yeah, we planted this yesterday, and then it got deleted from the crash, but whatever. All right, we have everything done on here. Let's go look at these letters. I have begun collating the data. Oh, one button. Apologies for surprising you before. I did not foresee such a deluge of complaints. But this is a fortuitous state of affairs. Such a large number of able letters will make short work of my analysis. Would you not agree? I wish to speak with you again about the letters I have collected. So please come to the airship. I will be waiting. Fiasola from Hein. Sorry to keep you waiting. I believe I am ready to tell you everything about Fiasola. Please visit the atelier when it suits you. I kept you waiting, didn't I, my humble attendants? As suspected, the memories I have of my princess are beyond countable in number. But I finally know now where we should visit first. First on the agenda will be the splendid Nemea, with its torrents of soft, pink cherry blossoms. A truly fine place to begin, wouldn't you agree? I will wait for you there, faithful servant. Yours truly, Unicorn. He's been acting weird from Innkeeper. Sorry for sending this letter out of the blue, but did something happen to Brakka recently? He's not filled with his usual vim and vigor is all. You're his pal, ain't you? Why don't you come and see what's got him all down in dumps? Our next steps from Shrika? I'm sorry for allowing myself to get so upset the other day, but I was unsure what to do upon learning that the cause of all this strife was none other than Sights all along. He hasn't shown himself in the temple ever since, but there's no telling how long that will last. We can't simply do nothing, so please come to the temple when you can. We must devise some sort of plan of action. And I gotta try and distinguish her from Cress. Sorry for worrying you. Dim was pretty upset. A doctor shouldn't be the one making others worry. Nonetheless, if I hadn't done what I did then, I wouldn't have made my tremendous discovery. Please come to the clinic when you have the chance. I need to talk to you about the quiet. From Emo. Oh gosh, I hate her voice. Trying to do her voice. The bartender has allowed me to take the day off. He told me that he used it to doing what I want to do. And I want to talk to you, Haruhi. We always talk about serious things, but maybe this time will be different. I will wait for you by the beach. I can't get my voice high enough for her. Would you mind lending an ear? Oh, would you mind coming to my place? I'd like to talk about that girl we met, Otella. We need to do something about her. Thanks in advance, Aesel. Istina, about Rosny. Do you remember Rosny? We met her in Argent. Well, I just received a letter from her saying she wants to speak with me at Chatola. It could be a trap, but I can't ignore her request. I'm going to go and meet her. But would you come with me? If she tries something, I'd feel safer with you there. I'll see you in Shatola. A lot happened, but from Mina. I'm so sorry about getting you caught up in all the stuff surrounding Mr. Coco the other day. But thanks to you, Mr. Coco and I can finally work together. I'm so excited to be working with him to make this inn the best it can be. So if you're ever back in Argent, please stop by and see how he's doing. That's a good one we want to do today, because that's a side quest. Like you'll see the what the ending of it is like. It's like this secret lore behind the Canelu, but it never gets resolved. It's like okay, that's cool, but why don't we get another quest further from that? Sorry for getting you all wrapped up in my family drama. Learning about my dad's past really got me riled up. So from now on, I'm just going to look after the lighthouse on my own. And first up is finishing those repairs. Although I'm not sure if I'll even manage that. Well, all I can do is my best, eh? Feel free to stop by and see how things are going, although I'm not sure how much we'll get to chat. Alright, so we got all those. We're gonna head first and foremost to Arjun. We need to get Brakka up because we have used so much of the Avenger class the last few dungeons that we are maxed out with our second tier and we need to get the third tier unlocked. So let's get this done here. We've also got the side quest from Mina, and I think we got one with the priestess up there at the temple, either which is showing right now. There we go. That's showing us flipping back and forth. So let's come up here first and foremost. All right. Thank you for coming. Mr. Coco has been doing a great job at the inn since you saw him last time. He's been so popular with the customers, word is spreading around town of our cute new employee. He's totally taken over my job as the greeter. Coney Coco! I'm surprised the innkeeper allowed it. Me too, to be honest. I thought he was going to be furious, but the Canelo have a reputation for being skilled at business. So if anything, he actually seemed kind of excited to have him. But wasn't Mr. Coco kind of bad at sales? Not at all. Mr. Coco said his peers chased him out of his hometown for being a bad salesman. But that's not true at all. He adapted really quickly to this job, and he's a great asset to the inn. Kono Kono! He says I'm embarrassing him. With both of us at the door, we make a great team, don't we, Mr. Coco? We'll have the inn booked out for weeks. Ha ha ha! Sounds like the inn is in good hands. By the way, you've got customers meeting, Coco. They want us to talk to both of us? Yeah, they're waiting for you outside. Could you come too, actually? It would be good to have you around just in case anything kicks off. That doesn't sound good. Oh, I'm hoping you guys can see this. I'm just now looking over at my OBS and it's still showing as just the screen. Let me pop over to the YouTube real quick and take a look at that. Do. Let's go check out my. Hop in YouTube and make sure that it's not just sitting on that screen. Wow, it is. It is frozen on that screen. Oh, wow. I am so sorry, guys. I'm gonna cut out the OBS for a second. Or let's try plugging this. Plug that back in. I don't know what is up with my OBS lately. All right, I am gonna have to exit and come back in. Hopefully it doesn't drop us, but if it does, we will continue. Yeah, it's gonna drop me the stream, so I'll be back in just a minute. There we go. It is showing properly now. And it didn't drop us, thankfully. So, awesome. So you guys missed the boss fight. It was nothing glorious or ugly or pretty or anything like that. It was just an annoying one. It had these like guys that was looking like the Aegises from before. So they were like just putting on a shield on it. It's just a thing. Anyways, we'll continue with where we are. We've only been playing for about, I guess, 40 minutes, but a lot of it was stuff we were doing yesterday, just had to be redone, and we haven't done any character quests yet, and it was mostly just me reading the letters, so here we go. Oh, let me. But now that I have this working, let me exit out of having this in the background, because I'm echoing in my own voice. All right. So, shall we go and greet our customers then? Mr. Coco's Secret. The quest has a great name, and it does reveal the secret of the Canelu, but it never goes anywhere from there, which is annoying. Anyways, we're here back in Argen, for those who missed it. Gotta go down here. The innkeeper asked us to talk to Brakka and check on him. So that's what we're gonna do. Haruhi, will you ever get tired of bothering me? I heard you've been acting strange. Strange, huh? I don't know what you were expecting, but if it was to find me at death's door, then I'm sorry to disappoint you. You look bored. Yeah, you could say that. In all my life on this planet, I think this might be the first time I've ever experienced boredom. What, is it really that bizarre seeing me with nothing to do? Have you lost your drive? Yeah, that's a good way to put it. With Amadeus dead and out of the way, I don't feel like doing anything else. Strange, isn't it? After dedicating my entire life to getting revenge, this is what I become the minute I find out he's dead? Why did you want revenge? I guess there's no reason to keep it from you anymore. I'm warning you, though, it's not a feel-good kind of story. Things that lead to revenge rarely are. Not like that would stop you from pressing the subject, huh? So, I was born in a really small village. Not much different from the settlement we were at before. Everyone in the village was family. It was just that kind of place. Place filled with warmth. And it was a lot of fun, too. Hey, he's actually smiling in his portrait. My childhood friend Claude, the chief's daughter Ina, the twins Lot and Tori, my big brother, Badal, taught me how to hunt. We were all really close. I thought a life like ours could last forever. But everyone died. Amadeus and Kierkegaard made sure of that when they attacked our home. And that's why you want revenge. By the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. My house, my parents, my friends, Those bastards devoured all of them. Except for me, only I survived. Mercenaries hell-bent on hunting the Hallowed turned up at the village. They were able to wound Kierkegaard and forced him to flee the village along with Amadeus. You were the only one they saved? What, you missed that part? I told you, I was the only survivor. I kept asking myself, why? I couldn't get it out of my head. Why was I the only one left? The next thing to fill my head was revenge and how I was going to get it. You know what came after that? I became a mercenary and dedicated my life to hunting those bastards. Why become a mercenary? I told you before, it was the only path I could take. I was never schooled, I had no skills, there wasn't anywhere else a homeless brat like me could turn. To be fair, I didn't really put that much thought into it. I just needed money and power, quick. So what will you do now? Good question. I can't chase Amadeus anymore. What do you think I should do, Harvey? What's left for a guy with nothing left after his dream of revenge has been snatched away from him? I'm lost. What the hell should I do now? What is there to live for? What is left? It's not all lost. You could be one of the hosts of my club. I'll help you find a new purpose. You think there's one out there for me? Well, yeah. We'll find it. I'm sure of that. We're the host club. There's lots of girls that like the emo bad boy. Even though we have the girl named Emo, who is anything but emo. You're sure, huh? That's some confidence. I guess there's no harm in trusting you. What else have I got to lose? One more level, and then we can finally unlock more of the Adventure class. Alright. All of this, let's go outside and deal with this whole mess. With Mr. Coco and the inn and blah blah blah. Canelo came to see you. Huh? Go on. Connie! They've been trying to tell me something for a while, but I have no idea what they're saying. I think they're saying they want to talk to Mr. Coco. You can understand them, Mina? Yeah, why is it some people can do that and other people can't in this series, in this game? That makes no sense. Especially when what you learn from after this. Kono? Gono. Gonini! What? What are they saying? Now wait just a minute. You can't just show up out of nowhere and take Mr. Coco back to your hometown. You're the ones who kicked him out in the first place. Now you want him back? What's the meaning of all this? Is this Coco's family? Hold on. You think saying sorry will make everything better? I mean, shouting at them won't do any good. I know, it's just... You're right. What's most important is how Mr. Coco feels. What do you think, Mr. Coco? Do you want to go back? Kono! Kono! Hmm? It sounds like he wants to go home. Well, that's understandable. Home is home, after all. Kona! But you can't. You're already an important member of the inn now. Kona? You can't take him away from me. Mina grabbed Mr. Coco and ran away with him. Oh my, she kidnapped him. Or should I say Coco napped him. We can't let them get too far away. Please go after her. We'll catch up to you there. I think she went to the Caesar cave. Nope, she's over there. She's still in the frickin' town. She's back this way. Slide! Gotta do this whole frickin' all the way to the top. And around. I'm gonna bypass you guys. I think there's a chest back here. Yes, there is. And we did not grab it yet. With Hermit's Root! Yay! That makes those are good. Those make not the Soma, the other one, Halma. Which lets you regenerate health. Hurry! I don't understand how they could be so cruel. First they kick him out, then they change their mind just like that. They didn't even give a second thought to how Mr. Coco must have felt that day. He was in a really bad state. Connie! I'm sorry, Mr. Coco, but I can't let you go back to them. They could just kick you out again for the same reason as before. Besides, isn't working at the inn with us more fun anyway? You can't ignore Mr. Coco's feelings. Yeah. His feelings? What about my feelings? Connie! Are you saying that you still want to go back home? Connie? Connie, Coco! Connie! Because you want to try being a better salesman this time? And you feel more confident now that, thanks to us and all the customers at the inn? Connie! Hmm. Well, if that's what you want, then I wouldn't want to stand in your way. I'm going to miss you, Mr. Coco. Connie! Mr. Coco. It looks like you've made a decision. Yes. It's a shame we're losing a great employee so soon. We only just got you. But what can we do? Corner! Don't be sorry. It's me who should apologize. I'm sorry I ran off with you like that. I won't try and stop you again. Corner! You're not going to treat him how you did last time, are you? Please promise me you won't. I'll never forgive you if you kick him out again. Corner! What are they saying? They said they're going to leave right away. They're going to head to another town through the Silent Cave. Corner! Sir? Would it be okay if I walked into the Silent Cave? Yeah, sure. Could you go with her, Haruhi? Yeah, I'll stick you around until the end. Thank you. Shall we go to the Silent Cave, then? Yeah, these Sunday sessions are not as, exciting as the Saturday ones. I fully admit. But, you know, this is where the world building is. And there's not that much of it in this game, unfortunately. So, but, you know, this quest is one that I, really hope that if they make a sequel, they follow up on what what we learn about from this quest in the sequel, because there's some interesting stuff here. You'll find out when we finish this. You see what I'm talking about. So, to the Silent Cave. I remembered there was a cave involved. It's the wrong cave that I was thinking of, but there was a cave involved. Okay, let's go teleport to the other side. And go from that side. That's what we gotta do. Is all of these guys. Look, we gotta go this way to get around. Level 37 Shadow Crawling Mark. We're level 50, like 7 or 8 by now. Kanini! There we go. Well, I guess this is goodbye, Mr. Coco. Connie! Stay on good terms with everyone, okay? Kokona! He says of course he will. Connie, Kona! You're going now? Connie! Don't be a stranger, okay? Come and visit our town again when you're a pro salesman. We always need ingredients at the inn. And please come and stay with us when you do. You're always welcome. Kona! I'm rooting for you, Mr. Coco. Well, take care. Kona! And off they go. Mr. Coco! I'll never forget you! Kona! Yeah. I mean, this quest is literally just, he's gone. Let's get you home. This is literally just a go to point A, talk to B person, go to point B. But this has some of the most world building. This is probably one of the best side quests in the game, just for what it does for the world. But it never pays off on it, and you'll find out here when we finish this to see what I'm talking about. Yeah. Harvey, are you alright? God, that fairy again. What's wrong all of a sudden? Oh, what? There's nothing happening? I rushed over because I felt something evil in the air. I must have got it wrong. Oh well, back to the farm. What was that all about? Any excuse to leave the farm. Well, that was spooky. Anyway, shall we start heading to Urchin? So back to the frickin' where we came from. Blah, blah, blah. I feel like I gotta sneeze here shortly. Ah. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. Oh, no. We'll just go out and we'll travel through. And thankfully, because the inn is open until 10, we should still be able to get in and finish this quest. And here we go, the innkeeper. Did you see him off safely? Yes, thankfully. That's good. I'm sorry to see a good employee go, though. At least that should be the end of that rumor for now. We can get back to normal. Did you fix up that room? Or what about your underground store? What underground store? Hey, be careful what you say, Harvey. Now that Mr. Coco's gone, I'll work twice as hard for the two of us. I know I can trust you to keep the rooms nice and clean. She's the greeter. Why is she also the maid? You sure can. Oh, whoops. I totally forgot to clean up Mr. Coco's room. Oh no, please get it cleaned up before people come out with another crazy rumor. Next thing you know, they'll be saying there's a gnome staying in there. Yes, sir. And here we go. Here's what I was talking about. Ready? It's the Canelus. Go on. Are the humans gone now? Yes, I think we lost them. In that case, please tell us what you found. Connor! You can stop pretending now. Talk normally. Sorry, I got used to it. All our spies end up like that, speaking gibberish. Thanks for taking one for the team. So, did you get the information? Yes. You've really got those humans. They didn't suspect a thing. Good job. I gathered plenty of information about the inn. I will give you the full report when we get home. Okay. Now we can start putting our plan into action. That's right. We already have a monopoly on the livestock trade. Next is to take over the hospitality business. Yes, sir. Kona. And nothing ever comes of this. Nothing. There is no reference to this anywhere else in the game. You really like. I hope they do more with that in future games if they continue this series, which I don't know if they will because one of the biggest complaints that people had about this game is, especially the price of it. It's not worth the. It's not the quality that it should be for the price. Um, I'm not usually a proponent of trading in, but I'll probably trade this in when I'm done with it. If I can, if I think I can get anything of value from it, which I probably won't, because by then it'll be months past. But anyways, right, it's 9 p.m. We're not doing any real combat today, so I'm not worried about healing items. Autumn Chill Day 11. There we go. Coconut milk sells for a little bit more than coconut juice. Actually, quite a bit more, 50% more. And coconut milk was the one from the dessert thing, so that's the one we're going to make for selling stuff. Let's see. Do we have anything here we could do? Yes, the coconuts, woolen pen. Doot. And eating rice. Doot. All right. Yeah, naming all the fairies after like cooking stuff is not helping the I'm hungry whenever we play thing. Goodbye may seem forever. I'm so sad to say goodbye to Mr. Coco, but I'm glad we got the chance to work together, no matter how brief. I'm going to be the best greeter ever by the time he visits the inn again. I'm going to surprise the pants off him. So I won't let this keep me down. I don't want Mr. Coco to laugh at me. So I'm going to work with the innkeeper to make the inn bigger than ever. Signed, Mina. All right.
Got some crops begging to be harvested.
We do pumpkins.
Little crappies.
We're going to sell. We're going to keep the 2 of those. And we're going to sell the 6 of these. And you're going to see just how much money we're going to make just from that.
Let's give it our all today. I can probably use something here.
All right, let's see. We'll keep the 1 sugar since, it's not like we... Yeah, I need some more pumpkin seeds. If I can afford them. Actually, yes, let's do over here. Do 2 of those, take 1 of that. Yeah, coconut milk sells for 50% more the freaking coconut juice. Which does remove continuous physical damage, which is nice, but it is a thing. Oh, we don't have 9 of those. Okay. Alright. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fill these. And look, I'm missing something. Dessert maker. Water these. Do.
Drink up, lovelies. Do you want to work on the farm today?
You asked me that as I'm working on the farm right now. The fairies in this game, man. Anyways. What do we have pepper-wise? How much pepper do we have? Oh, we don't even have 9. We'll put that in there for now. We don't have any of these up here yet. We did yesterday before the crash, but we didn't buy them yet with yesterday in-game, with after post-crash, with today's session. So we'll go buy some frickin'
Bye-bye.
livestock. We'll put feed in their things. We'll buy some kind of seeds, if we can afford them. I don't know what we'll buy. How much money we got? 6,700? That's not enough to buy 8 frickin' pumpkins. Maybe we'll just put some, lettuce in there or something. Just something to get us through the next 2 days. Yep, livestock, we saw this yesterday. Feed maker, feed them. They grow up, takes a few days, yada yada. Head to the Castle Illusion. Yeah, that's the Chapter 7 start. We'll just do... dress lettuce. That takes 2 days to grow. Oh, I've already got some in my thing. I don't need to buy any of those. We'll save money. Because we want to buy more pumpkin seeds for that batch of 8 again. Because we want to have as many pumpkins as we can. But while we're here, we'll get crust done, since we're in town already. She's less important than the party members, because she just gives items, but, you know, she's here. We'll get her done. It's not taking up time today. Ah, Harley, you read my letter. It said something important happened. That's right. It's about the patient from before. He just passed away a few days ago. I'm sorry to hear that. After what I found in the diary, I went and spoke to the patient and his family. I proposed the idea of changing his medication to alleviate his symptoms instead of trying to cure them. I was surprised at how quickly they came to a decision. I guess it was only me who was wrestling with that problem until the bitter end. I mean, you tried your best, Chris. Are you trying to cheer me up? There's no need to worry or cheer me up. I did all I could as a doctor. So, there's nothing to be depressed over. I'm a terrible liar. It's hard not to feel overwhelmed every time I'm unable to save someone's life. There's never an occasion where I don't fully realize my own incompetency despite doing everything I can to help. Even with you there to help me, there was nothing we could do. It was all for nothing. Haruhi, I don't think I... Excuse me, is Dr. Chris available? That voice was not very well for a female. Oh, is everything okay? I'm sorry to drop by so suddenly, but I really need to speak with you. About your brother, right? Look, Doctor, I want to tell you. I'm sorry. Pardon? I'm so sorry. I wasn't able to save your brother. Mhm. Please don't apologize. Oh, wow. They are slamming the door. They know I'm on stream. You gave my family exactly what we had hoped for. What? My brother was smiling even before he died. Neither me nor my parents expected to see him smile again. He was able to say goodbye to his friends. He spoke to everyone who had ever treated him with kindness. His illness had made him give up on doing a lot of things, but he was able to do them all anyway. It made it easier for him to come to terms with his own death. You helped him do that, Dr. Kress. I need a drink. I need a drink. I wanted to thank you, for giving my brother the time that he had left. You could be proud of that, Kress. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. There's no need to thank me. I wasn't able to do anything. But I appreciate the sentiment. I'm sorry for taking up so much of your time. I'll be heading home now. Thank you for listening. No, of course. Take care. It is hot in here. Hey, Haruhi? Can we talk outside a moment? Meet me at the place behind the mayor's house where you can see the seas light. Okay. This is a multi-step character quest. Gotta make fun of the music at least once. The autumn seas light. Yay. It's been a while since I came out here to calm down. I've been wound so tight doing research and working on that cure this whole time. Make sure you relax, okay? Yeah, I think I will. I'm sorry about what I said before, about your help being pointless. Ah, it wasn't true at all. Without you, I wouldn't have found a means of alleviating that patient's symptoms. What his sister said about giving him back the time he had left, that was because of you. So, thank you, for sticking by me. It was an honor to work beside you. I certainly didn't expect to receive a word of thanks from his younger sister. I expected her to hold a fierce grudge. I think she was grateful. Yeah, I think so too. We were able to let the patient spend more time together with his family. Sorry, I'm yawning here. Some of these voices make me want to yawn. It's just like my dad said. Doctors can't cure everything. I used to hate those words. They would push me to never give up. But I had it in the wrong way around. Or I had it the wrong way around. It's because we can't cure everything that we need to think more about what we can do for the patient. That was what my dad strove for as a doctor. So you figured it out in the end. Honestly, I can't really say for sure. It'll be a long time before I can get an answer. But I finally understand. You hear that, Dad? I'm going to follow in your footsteps. So I'd like you and Mom to keep watching over everyone. Dim, the people of Lethe, and Haruhi too. Because I'm going to keep giving everything I've got. There we go. Yeah, this whole thing that shows you just what I'm talking about earlier about. These are kind of rip-offs of the social links of Persona series. I mean, I know everyone does those. Oh, hey, Autumn. You're stuck on chapter 8? Um, chapter 8 is actually kind of short. It's, you really only have half a dungeon. It's the latter half of the, well, the orbital cradle dungeon, I guess. I forget what it's actually called for that one. But, yeah, it's the boss fight that's gonna make that a pain. But then you get past it, and it's like kind of like chapter 5. It's a lot of walking and talking and that stuff. So, it is what it is. Yeah. Leveling up for the boss fight.
Welcome home.
What level are you right now? I think I did it in my late 70s, early 80s. My other playthrough, not this one. The one that I have personal. Like if you look at my save file, I have Stella is the one I created from just the demo versus Haruhi, which I play on here. The cradle monsters keep killing you. Oh yeah, 63 is a little low. I will tell you the fear, even at like level, like I said, I'm in the 80s. Here, let's test this. Let me save here. We'll save Haruhi, and I can switch over to my Stella file, and we can look at that. I think Stella's 85, 86, something like that. Like, I'm literally right before the final boss on my Stella playthrough. As, let's see. Yeah, I'm 84. But even then, the fear for that dungeon are still kicking my butt. So you gotta be careful not to mess with those fears. Um, it also is gonna help with what jobs you have. Uh, if you've unlocked all of them, the samurai's really good. Um, Aristotle can be. Adventure's good everywhere. Just from when you get it, it's basically useful almost every dungeon. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna recommend for those. We'll go back over to Haruhi because that's what we're playing on the streams. But yeah, you just gotta level up. A good place to level up is the Astrum Helix facility from the end of chapter 6. Yeah, you haven't unlocked everything yet. Yeah, do runs of the like go over to the Astrum Helix facility and run the middle section 3 from just start to finish. You'll get a lot of good experience doing that and job points for your classes. Um, and that'll help you get you level up, and it's not as tough as the dungeon you're in right now. But that means like for the job class guides that I've been doing, that's the run I do is just that with my the opulent dexterity ring equipped, and that's how I've been farming the job points for all my classes for that guide or for those guides that I'm doing weekly, and that'll get you your experience up. Just be sure to bring side quests. That's what the Sunday sessions are for the most part. Is me doing side quests and character quests because you can see we're chapter 7, but my characters I've got her at 6 and no one else is at 6 yet. So that's why I started, hey, we're going to do the Sunday sessions. The farming and the fishing are boring to watch, so I don't do them as much on the stream. Food is good. Both the food side quests. You got the fishing side quests up top here too. If you've done that yet, I don't know if you have. If you aren't familiar with that, when you come to the waterside biome, and you come across this way, you'll come up the hill here, and there'll be a mysterious thing. Yeah, the final boss of Chapter 6 isn't hard. I mean, it was more annoying for this playthrough with my harder playthrough, just because I didn't have anything it was weak to. But yeah, do these. These are good. I don't think I've done any of them out here on Hardy. Yeah, I haven't done any of them on Hardy. Stella, I've done about half of them. But yeah, it's just a work on your food, do the food quests, do the fish quests for your money. Work on your character quests, get everyone up, because that's one of the reasons I'm doing that here on the Sunday sessions, is the buffs that you get from them. I've got Acel in my party for right now, for example. And if you get him at 10, that's a 10% boost to your attack and defense, physical. Which right now I don't have him at that high. I think he's at 4. But that boost can definitely get really high up there. It'd be good. Yeah, there's the quietest fish. There's the different ones. My Stella playthrough, I've got I think half of them roughly. We can take a look. We'll swap over there and take a look again. Because there's some of them, it's just like I can fish all day and not catch it. Like I go to Nemea and you've got the Twilights. I think it's called the Twilight Cherry Fish or something like that. I haven't been able to catch. But the cooking the fish depends on what you're cooking. I mean, certain fish have cooking recipes and others don't. So it's like you can just sell them. They don't sell for much though, even the rare fish. But I like the game, but I don't love the game, to answer your question. It's not good enough. Like, it's considering who made it, I'm disappointed with it. It should have been better quality. Yeah, you can see I've only found 4 of the 9. Because the others I just haven't had good luck finding them. But yes, I have played my time at Porsche and my time at Sandrock. I was actually a backer with both of the Kickstarters. So I have all those. One of my very first stream on this channel was once they finally released the NDA on us, about a week before they loaded put it into early access for my time at Sandrock, and we had technical issues. It died after like 30 minutes or something like that. So, but yeah, I love them. The Porsche. Once I finish this, probably at the end of next month, I'm gonna put either Rune Factory or My Time titles as probably the two biggest chances of which one I'm gonna go to next. Um, I'm gonna put in a survey here this week and let people decide what they want to see. Sandrock is still in the works, so it's kind of a mess at times, but it's still a good game. They just haven't completed it, um, and there's still some bugs and all that. But continuing our play here, Clary. You're stuck in the last part of My Time, Portia? Which part is the last part? You have to remind me. Like, what are you calling the last part? Because I mean, Portia can, depending on how you play it, you can play it for years in game. Oh, hurry! I don't suppose you heard that, did you? What? You're sighing? Yes, we heard your sighing. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Are you still sad about last time? No, it's something else. They're taking me out of the confessional. No shit. Because of what happened before? I don't know. It could be. Like, I wish this game, like, I don't know if you saw earlier, we were finishing up the side quest with the Canellos in the inn, and they've got that whole, we're spying and we're going to take over everything, and then nothing ever comes of it through the rest of this game. So I was saying that, I hope that if they make a second Harvestella, that they explore the Canelo thing further, because a lot of the Canelo stuff is just left in the air. It's interesting plot hooks that never go anywhere. I only have myself to blame, though. I imagine it's because I never listened and did things how I wanted. Again, no shit. That gets you fired from jobs. Well, that's what I get. That won't change me, though. I still have every intention of doing things my own way. I'm going to stick with my principles till the very end. Well, I admire your confidence. Either way, it's too late for regrets now. I still have a bit more time until I'm officially dismissed. Yeah, this side quest is kind of. This is not one of the better side quests. It's kind of fun to make fun of, but I mean, there's better side quests. There's worse side quests. I rip a lot on this game because of like the bartender in Chatola, and you learn his name, and then he still shows up as bartender everywhere, and everyone just calls him bartender, and it's like, come on, we know you have a name. So I've got to go. I'm sure today will be my last day, so I'm gonna give it my all. See ya. I kind of want to just for that leave this side quest, like rather than try to complete it all in one day and let it run for a few days and just see like, oh yeah, no, your last day was like 4 days. She's still cheerful even after finding out that she'll be getting dismissed. Was it your decision? I can't say, sorry. The higher ups have told me to keep quiet. And I don't know that they will make a second Harvestella. They might. They might. But there was a lot of legitimate complaints with this. Um, like the quality compared to the price, um, just the quality in general, considering it's a Square Enix title. This could have been a lot better if they had taken more time on it. Like they released like 15 or 20 RPGs last year alone. This one could have taken another year to polish and followed the Nintendo policy of, don't rush it. take the time, put more into it. They could have gotten voice acting that a lot of people complain about, more full fleshed out. There's a lot that they could have done with this game to make it better. Um, so we'll see. I hope they make a second game, but I'm not holding my breath either. Anyway, I'd like to ask you a favor. Could you help Clary one last time? She's gonna do something stupid. I don't think she'll get herself into any serious trouble again like before, but she's going to. But I'm sure she'll find it easier with you by her side. Sure, no problem. Great, thanks. Please look after her. Yeah, if you're familiar with the anime or the manga Ouran High School Host Club, the stream that I do here is the premise is that the main character of that series, Haruhi, got warped to Rigaya. She's gone to the inn. There's someone she's trying to help who's staying there. That's cool. You're not my highest priority, and neither is she. I want to get my character quests done, so I can start using higher level tiers in my classes. Hari, thank you for coming. Sights hasn't shown himself once within the temple since the incident. Does he intend to hide like this after revealing who he really was, I wonder? Do you think the other priests know? Have you told them? No, I haven't spoken to anyone about it. I know I'm only keeping this to myself out of selfish self-interest. But I'm finding it difficult to digest. Besides, I dread to imagine what chaos will unfold once word gets out that Sights was the anti-mother mastermind. I think it's better to tell someone. You're right. I know I'm being selfish. Yeah, there's some fun stuff in here. The mayor and his alcohol stash, the giving him the stuff that I forget if it was sneezes or hiccups that it had the effect. I think it was sneezes from the rat poison, but there's some fun stuff here. I liked the game, but it didn't get marketing hardly at all. What marketing it did was okay. It was kind of hyped to be, oh, it's going to be the Rune Factory killer, which took one look at it. I knew it wasn't going to be. Um, I just wish the quality was better. There's absolutely things about the game that I do enjoy, but it's not one that I'm going to finish and then come right back to and start a whole new game playthrough like I would with something like Persona or Mega 10. So it is what it is. I don't find the story quite as epic as other stuff, but it's perfectly serviceable. I mean, Square Enix, even their worst stuff is still good. It's just not as great as it should have been. I think that's my views on the game. Um, you're right. I know I'm being selfish, but I'd like to see if there isn't anything I can do by speaking with Sights a little more. Let's deal with this ourselves and see if we can't find Sights for now, before he reveals himself to anyone besides us. Whoa, whoa, whoa! He's not going to reveal himself. There'll be no need for that. I don't know if it was rushed. I don't know. I mean, if it's the logic of it being Nintendo Switch only rush, I find hard to believe because Nintendo has very much that strong philosophy put forth by Miyamoto of a rushed game is bad, a delayed game is eventually good. I mean, look at how long they've been pushing back and talking about Metroid Prime 4. You know, where it's in the air. It's like we're gonna make it. We're making it. No, we have to remake it completely. We're making it though. It's gonna come out eventually. It's not like some of these other games like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 or Sushi Wildlands that you're like, yep, it's coming out. Oh wait, no, nothing's been heard of it. Eh. So I think it was rushed because it was Square Enix, and you see that a lot of times. the publisher, not necessarily the developer, but the publisher, which in this case is the same company, but the publisher will force a game to come out early. It happened with Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, the original version, which was the death of Troika. It's happened with Cyberpunk 2077. That CD Projekt Red, the people who were behind the development side were like, we need another 2 years of development, but the publisher side was like, it's got to be pushed out. Um, so we see that a lot where the publisher will ruin a game. And Cyberpunk 2077, 2 years later, perfectly serviceable game, especially on PC. Um, I'm playing this on Switch rather than PC just because I like it being portable. This is, for me, I like this game to be one that I can, uh, like, because there's the voice acting is just during combat, and because the music is just kind of there, it's not so bad I have to turn it off, but neither so good that I want to just sit there and listen to it. This is a game that I'll put on like on my Switch and just put out and go out and watch TV with my aunt or something. So sights. Since some kind soul hasn't told the world about me yet, I was able to slip back into the temple unimpeded. You have some nerve. Why are you here? I want to show you the darkness behind the door that doesn't open. Yeah, Cyberpunk is good. I enjoy Cyberpunk. You know, it's not just that the voice actors like the voice acting with this one literally, and I do prefer the Japanese voice acting with games like this and Rune Factory where it's like inconsistent. But it's because the voice acting here is so inconsistent. Like, I remember when this game first came out, and I was reading some of the reviews of other people, like on Steam, and they're like, "There's no voice acting." It's like, well, there's voice acting, but it's only during combat, or like you walk into the shop and the general store owner's like, "Welcome." There's the voice acting with this is the complaint that most people have about the lack of voice acting is, I mean, okay, here during the character quests, that's fine. But like big story quests, like we just finished chapter 6 earlier in this session, even if it didn't show on screen because my OBS was being screwy. But like, Geist shows up at the end of chapter 6 and is doing the whole explanation, and none of that is voiced. And that's the complaint that people had with the voice acting in this game. Um, so it's just like, yeah, games like this and like Rune Factory, I absolutely prefer the Japanese voice acting for that kind of stuff. If I play Rune Factory next on here, I'll probably do it with the English voice acting, even though I prefer the Japanese. Just because sometimes having an English voice actor, yes, Geist is a male voice. Um, Dianthus has a female voice, Geist has a male voice, and they do use she and he pronouns, even though they're, AIs. Excuse me. This way. The darkness behind that? No, enough riddles. Come, if you wish to know the truth behind the order. Wait, sights! Well, let's catch up with him. Naturally. Yeah, Geist is a male voice actor. I don't know the Japanese one. Maybe they've got a more androgynous voice, but he's got a pretty deep voice in the English. Sights is nothing if not honest. We need to catch up with him. It's unlocked. Let's go. You had the key this whole time? I found it after the issue with Kierkegaard was resolved. At that time, the only priests who could move freely were you, me, and a select few others. Just enough for me to do my own research into the Order's dark side. But when did you find the time? With your help, I was able to learn truths I never needed to know. Yeah, I haven't used the Japanese voice acting on this. Like I said, usually if I'm playing with, I'm usually playing in handheld mode for my personal playing, and it's like when I'm out watching TV with family. Um, the first time like I heard like the boss fight dialogue while they're talking to each other, and they do it in English, but there's no like subtitles for it. Was actually what for the stream here. So follow me as we go in and meet Mother. I need a quick drink. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours now and talking the whole dang time. Yeah, I usually start for your reference, Adam. I usually start about 5 p.m. Eastern time, which would be 2 Pacific. And then I run for about 3.5. It was between 3 and 4 hours. Yesterday only ended up being 3 hours because my game crashed right before, like, I'd gotten to the end of chapter 6, right before the boss, and I'm like, I don't have any food left. Let me go back to the farm and go grab some. And as I was leaving the farm, the game crashed before I could save it. And it was like, screw it. I've got half an hour left. I'm hungry. We'll finish it tomorrow. And so we finished it earlier today, even though if you go back and watch the stream earlier, you're not going to see it because for whatever reason, my OBS was frozen and it was just like my pause screen on my job party class system screen. I had to close out OBS and start it back up, and thankfully it didn't crash the stream. I feel like I'm in over my head here. Did you know about this route? Yeah, in my case it crashed because earlier in the stream I went to my dashboard, and because I took pictures of what all recipes you need for the turn-ins, and I was just looking at that to like show it off, and that was probably part of it. But it's I think the only time it's ever crashed, and this is effectively my second playthrough of this game, so it's not bad, you know. It may as well have been a crash from the Switch side of things, but I did not. This is my first time coming here. If this is all it takes to surprise you, then you're in trouble. This is it. We're going inside. But yeah, like, I've mentioned this earlier. Is this game, like, it gets compared to Stardew and Rune Factory all the time, which A, that's the closest to it kind of thing, but B, it's kind of unfair. And I've said this several times. This leans much more heavily to the RPG side, especially the JRPG side, than either of those games. And honestly, its close comparison would honestly be Skyrim, if you think about it, especially with the Anniversary Edition adding in farming and fishing, and of course you got the Hearthfire DLC, where it's mostly the RPG, but hey, we have the farming and fishing and all the other little side stuff that exists to more supplement the RPG. Oh, Rune Factory 5, I way better for me. Here's the thing: is Rune Factory okay? My channel here is dedicated. Like we're right now doing just this, but the what our dedication is, what the theme that unifies all the games that I play on here, except for the very first one, which was before I figured out the channel's identity. Everything here is a hybrid of RPG and like a farming or crafting life sim. So things like my time at Portia, my time of uh my time at Portia, my time at Sandrock, Stardew Valley, etc. Um, Rune Factory doesn't actually have a lot of glitches. What it has is On the Switch, it doesn't have the best performance, but it's not like, oh my God, it's lagging. What it is like you enter a new area and it takes a few seconds for all the plants to populate. It's not instant loading. But it's a great game. The Rune Factory series is amazing. It's kind of the perfect 50-50 blend between what I was talking about, like the RPG and the farming life sim. Um, it has that same level of care and detail given to the villagers and every member of the town that you would expect from like a Story of Seasons, Harvest Moon, or Stardew Valley, um, that kind of thing, or um, all of that. I don't know. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be the same price for Sandrock, but I don't have either of the titles for Switch. I have them on PC. Like I said, I was a backer with the Kickstarter for both of them, so I've had them since alpha access, both games. So I've been playing them. I don't know what price they're gonna go with, but yeah, I'm gonna assume it's gonna be the same price. Um, but My Time at Porsche is a good example of what I was talking about with Rune Factory. The Switch version of My Time at Porsche has performance issues that the PC version does not, and that's what you're going to expect with Rune Factory 5 doing that on Switch versus PC. It's the question becomes, do you care more about the portability, or do you care about um, the performance? You got what for Switch that you marry the mayor? I mean, Stardew, you can't marry the mayor, especially not on Switch. I mean, you could if you have patch mods, but that's not on Switch. Neither can you do the mayor with Portia. You can marry his son or his daughter in Portia. Yeah, so portable. If you want the portable, then yeah, Rune Factory 5 is not gonna be horrible performance. The worst performance thing, like I said, is like when you'll get you start out with a very small crop field area that never gets bigger, but you'll unlock throughout the course of your game. You'll unlock these farm dragons that you can increase the size of what their thing is, and so you'll have your headquarters, that's where you live. You can go out of that out to your main field there, and it's also got the port to your first farm dragon. And whenever you're coming into the area with the farm, that main farm, your first farm, from either of the other two, it'll take a few seconds for things to populate. So like I typically, once I get my first farm dragon, turn that first field, since it never grows, into just my trees. And uh it'll take it about 2 or 3 seconds for the trees to populate. It'll be like blank for the fields. And then there's my trees there. It's not a huge like, oh my god, performance issue or during the combat kind of thing. Um it's actually a really it runs fine. It was it's a not a bad game. But again, you're gonna have the Switch is not the most hardware intensive system out there, but it makes up for it with the portability. I love the Switch for that reason. Up until, not even a year ago, less than a year ago was when I finally came off the truck. I was a truck driver for 3 years. So having something like the Switch was great for me. Oh, don't get me started on Animal Crossing. I have a love-hate relationship with Animal Crossing, and the comparison to it getting compared to other things is iffy. The problem I have with Animal Crossing is I'm a bit of a completionist. I want to complete the museum, and everything is real time with Animal Crossing. With Stardew Valley, My Time at Portia, etc. You can go, okay, it's an in-game clock. You're gonna sleep, and then it's gonna do the next day. Whereas Animal Crossing, everything is real time, and so you got to be, um, you know, have the good luck to get it. Like those, you'll have those things that like it's only available 2 hours during the day. during 2 months of the year to try and catch that bug or that fish or whatever, and you got to get lucky. So that's my love hate thing with Animal Crossing. I love the games, but the fact that it's that real world clock just frustrates me. It's like the completionist is just like, okay, I'm done with it for this month. I'll come back in 2 weeks. There's nothing for me to do in here, and it feels like a chore. It feels like a chore for me. It's like MMOs. It's like it's fun until it feels like it's a chore. Um, that's how I feel about it. This is this figure. Is it the same as the one in the Divine Seaside Cave? This is the darkness behind the door that doesn't open. The truth behind the Seaside Order. But yeah, I've Animal Crossing. I have everything except for the original GameCube version. I have uh City Life. I have Wild World. I have uh all of them basically. I yeah, Portia, your items don't break. Well, item breaking is only a thing in the what is it? Island Paradise or whatever it is, the newest Animal Crossing. That was one of the things that they hated about it. It's what like everybody was like, man, this sucks. Even the gold ones break. So it's problematic that way. What do you mean? What you see before you was the founder of the Seaside Order. Yeah, Animal Crossing. I'm just trying to remember which version of Animal Crossing it is. It's called because you have like Wild World, you have City Life. The new one is Island Paradise or something like that. I love the Animal Crossing world. I love with it. It's a chore. It becomes a chore. I love the memes, especially the back and forth between Doom, the Doom Eternal crew, and the Animal Crossing crew, and how we got the Doom guy Isabel memes and all that. So it's not that I hate Animal Crossing. It's just like I said, it's like an MMO, and I can fall into it. I fall in love with an MMO. I used to love EverQuest. I used to love World of Warcraft. I don't remember them breaking in Wild World. Maybe they do until you get the gold ones. I don't remember. But I mean, tools break everything breaks all the time in Island Paradise. I know, he was like the Holy Mother herself. Yeah. Sims can be fun. I was thinking about doing a Sims for this channel. I was gonna do a legacy challenge kind of thing, but I was gonna do a theme. I was calling it the Mother Earth challenge because they had so much of the taking stuff up. And yeah, I do remember my Sims. Um, the game from the Sims company that I wish they would remake and redo was the Herbs. I don't know if you remember that one. That one was old. It's like PS2 era. This is the Holy Mother? Yes, this is the Holy Mother. Hmm. I don't think they believe me. All right, Mother, maybe you should tell them. Understood. Yeah, Sims 4. I haven't played it on the Xbox. I'll be honest, I have not gotten an Xbox since the 360 era. Um, Around that same era, the 360 PS3 era, was when Sony and Microsoft were losing a lot of what they had that was console exclusive. You know, for example, Final Fantasy had previously been a Sony exclusive and, until then, and then we got Final Fantasy 13 was on the 360. No, we do not have to fight this one. This is a character quest. This is just story stuff. I am the artificial intelligence, Sophia. You may know me by my UI persona, Holy Mother. The name Sophia chosen is actually very typical of just Square Enix in whole. I've talked about this before. Square Enix is very heavy on the religious symbolism and all that, and Sophia is the name of basically the true god or the creator or something along that within Gnostic beliefs. Um, when we, if you look at Gnostic beliefs, that what we believe, what we view as is like God, the God of the Old Testament, is what they call the demiurge, and Sophia was like the true god that created it, like on accident or intentionally. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not a huge scholar on Gnosticism, but that's just an idea. Like Square Enix, you knew like when you learned in chapter 4 that the especially chapter 5 that the omens were called Seths. For me, it was like, oh, we're gonna see the Canes, and lo and behold, they show up in chapter 7 and 8. Are you really the Holy Mother? Affirmative. Mother, tell him what you told me. No, I mean these bosses. I didn't find the one in Phantasmagoria that hard. I was equipped with Avenger, Fighter, and Mage, and I think it was the Fighter and the Mage. Were doing just I was able to break it and double break it all the time, and you never fight either of the other two. No, Square Enix are not Christian. They're a Japanese company. Um, a lot of JRPGs in tech in particular will have a lot of religious and anti-religious themes. You'll see that a lot, like Final Fantasy X. You're all it's the church is the bad guys and so on. You'll see that in a lot of these games. And but because Square Enix has that so often, they draw on religious terminology a lot in these things. So like in this one, you have the Cains and the Abels and the Seths, and Seth was was the third son of Adam and Eve after Cain slew Abel in the Bible, and Sophia was like Gnostic and all that. And I talked about it earlier in this episode. Their biggest competitor is probably Atlas, who's owned by Sega, and Atlas is the ones behind the Mega 10 series, which is very heavy in religious stuff with the demons and all that, but not any one specific religion. It leads a little bit heavier to Gnosticism, but not entirely, because you definitely have demons from all faiths in Mega 10 and Persona. Understood. What about its origins? Approximately 1,000 years ago, I arrived on this planet following an unexplained incident. Excuse me. It was there that I met those who inhabited this earth, your ancestors. Uh, I actually have Hatsune Miku Megamix on here, I think, on my Switch. Let me see. I think I do. Already on here, but I won't be playing it on the channel. Let's see. I think that's the Hatsune Miku I have. Yeah, I have it. The Project Diva Megamix. But I won't be playing it on the channel because the channel is specifically about that farm life sim RPG hybrid. So things like Portia, Stardew, Sandrock, Harvestella, Rune Factory, etc. Um, Kingseed if I want to start going over the PC side of things as well. Before we were born, the Holy Mother came to be that long ago. The humans that inhabited the earth were savages, bent on repetitive war and pillage. I deduced that on its current trajectory, humanity was moving towards extinction. That's a theme in this game. As a means of evading such a future, I gifted humanity with discipline and adopted the role of moderator. Discipline? The Seaslight orders scripture, the general texts. I created the prototype at this time. You created it? The general texts were created using data from Lost Gaia that reference a variety of religions. The result was people achieving a level of discipline that I am unable, or that I am able to moderate. This is not the game that I would wish was real. To be fair, I mean, you all, more power to you for wishing that this game was real, but there's a lot jacked up with this game, and I would not want to live in this world. And that's the same with most Square Enix things. I think the only Square Enix world I would want to live in would be the world ends with you thing, where it's just an afterlife thing. But other than that, the most of their stuff is like they make worlds that shit's going down and it's not good going down good. And that builds good story. That's how they do the epic world saving plot is shit's gonna be going wrong. This subsequently laid the foundation of the Seaslight Order, and I as its holy mother. Thereafter, for many years, I have bestowed the people with. That's enough of that. Do you see now, Shrika? This is the truth. We've been ruled over by this statue from the very beginning. The Seaslight Order, the scripture, the teachings. Humans are just convenient tools for it to assert control. The legend of the Seraph? All a joke. All of it cobbled together out of stories from a previous age. Doesn't that make you angry? To have your purest beliefs trampled on by your beloved Holy Mother? Yeah, you can feel bad for her. I mean, she's the reason I chose the name that I did to keep believing. Is I knew we were going to be doing her side quest. It was she deals with a lot of this stuff. I've done every single character quest. Like I said, literally all I have left on my Stella playthrough is the final boss. Like I've done the final dungeon, I fought the boss, and then it's like, oh yeah, no, now you got to go over here and fight the boss again. But it's not a second dungeon. It's literally just another boss fight. Bit of a warning for chapter 10, the epilogue. Do you still intend to continue with the Order now that you know the truth? Shrika! So the teachings were fake. So what? Hurry. Nobody is as steadfast in their beliefs as you. To have them pierced like this must be causing you no small amount of anguish. I'll give you time. Think about it as much as you need. Then I'd like your earnest answer to my previous invitation. Later, suckers. What do you want to do? I'm sorry, but I really want some time to myself right now. As Sight suggested, I'd like to try and think on this alone. I'm gonna go home. I will contact you again soon. Mother. Yeah, I really want to get Brakka up to level 6 during today's session, if I can. Just so I can unlock the top tier of my Avenger class. He's really useful for boss fights, but he's not that useful outside of them. Since his thing is only break gauge. And I'm going to be right back. I have to use the restroom real quick. We'll switch over to the loading screen. Yeah, I do wish that most everything in this game gave money. There's not the economy in this game is one of the issues with it, and we can talk about that a little bit more when I get back in just a minute. And I'm back. Sorry about that. I just really, really had to go. I was holding it in for a while and couldn't hold much longer. But yeah, regarding the the money thing, the economy in this game is jacked up. You know, things cost so much, but you don't hardly get enough money till late game doing much of anything. Um, the only crops that are worth any money are the pumpkins. You don't get those till autumn. And, even the fish and stuff, they're like, hey, you can sell this for money. Don't give you that much money. And so it's not until you get like your level 3 processing machines and process and all that, you got a huge farm and all that, that you're really making much in the way of money. The side quests are the best way to make money, and they don't give you much money outside of like the cooking and fish ones until, you know, whatever. All right. And my cat is wanting attention now. Nice. I'm gonna have dinner afterwards once we're done here. I live over not quite the west coast of the U.S. I live in Arizona, which is fun for me because when we don't do daylight savings time, so like with everyone else, you're like, oh hey, I gotta remember what time it is. Once daylight savings, it's like, oh, I gotta remember the clock and all that. Whereas here, it's like my clock stays the same, and now it's like, oh wait, now I gotta do the stream a little earlier or later or whatever. So, like, for example, right now I start at 3 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon for the 5 o'clock Eastern time. But when daylight savings hits in a few months, it'll be like, oh, now I gotta start at 2 in the afternoon and run till however long. And so that's gonna take me a little while to get used to it. Front. It has its pros, it has its cons. But yeah, I'll have dinner afterwards. I've been on a diet for 6 months and I've lost about 30 pounds with it. Well, there's a fun question. I'm asexual, to be honest, if to answer your question. You can see in well, no, not for the channel, but if you check out my Discord, uh, my icon that I have on most places on Discord has a character with like an ace pride pin on. Oh, I don't know why I just grabbed my keyboard and mouse. Need to grab the controller. All right. Good for you. I am transgender. I think that's the more accurate what you're wanting to ask is yes, I am a gender fluid, trans woman, etc., etc. Yes, I have two cats. They are both they're a breed called Bombays. They're all black, even like the noses and the little beans on the toes and all that. The only parts on them that aren't black are their eyes, which are in most will be a copper color. My two are green, so I don't think they're purebred Bombays. And because both of mine are boys that had gotten neutered, they have white dots from the neutering scars. Yeah, the voice is clear. I'm not good at it, but I mean, even within my family, most of the women are kind of butch and masculine sounding. My aunt gets called sir, and she used to be up until the last year or so. I think she was like double or triple D's. She was very large chested, but she still got called sir. We're all large, broad chested, deep voiced. There's only so much I can do with it, so. Yeah, they did. One of them had it already before I even adopted him, and the other one was a contingency of adopting him. They were shelter kitties. So, they're fine, they're happy. They know their mom, they love their mom. I'm gonna test something. We did this, the last game day, what I did was I tested selling one of these, selling one of these. We'll do it again to show you when we go to bed at the end of this in-game day, and I'll sell the coconut as well. You know, processing is almost always, and I say almost always, better in this game for making money. We're talking about the economy. But even then, it's not always great. You know, I took the coconuts, and the coconut trees saplings are like 2,500 to buy one. I've literally got one on my farm here, and that's it. But oh, that's what I wanted. Get these and pet my. These guys got I bought them earlier. You still a lot of the gear, or you? Oh yeah, you sell a lot of the gear. Yeah. The best way to make money in this game is with your processing things. So, like, a good example, your dessert maker. Once you get it to level 3, you'll put 25 of the thing in, and it'll give you 36 back. Same thing with the fermenting barrel. So, like, on my other playthrough, I just finished. I'm now in autumn of year 2. I was in summer, and during the whole summer, I had the hops things, the bell hops. And so every single day, I was putting 25 bellhops into the fermenting barrel and getting 36 back to sell them. The black plates are actually used. Oh, wrong ones. Yeah, are in crafting. So yeah, once you'll get a point to where you're like, yeah, I've got all these and I can sell them, and that's a good way to make money later on. But until you get everything leveled up, so like, for example, here, I don't have a large water course, so I can't even. I haven't found in this playthrough any large water course. We're at the end of chapter 6. We're at the start of chapter 7. I have 28 small, no large. I can't make level 2 sprinklers. And then there's a level 3 sprinkler once you finish all of the water fairies, uh, the fairy orders for the water fairy, which I'm assuming is going to be another stage out in size. So yeah, you eventually reach a point where the whole farm is automated and all that, but there's not good money with this game. And we'll demonstrate it with the. Ow, my cat just walked on me.
Wow, you did it!
The coconuts. Cat, do not get on that desk. His name is Bagheera. He's a jerk. The level 2 bombs, yeah, those I I have the recipes. I can't make them yet because my nitro pineapples haven't grown. Repair kits, I don't have enough sturdy screws. Those are gonna be the two that you're gonna be like, you have to find. Do them. I might one day do a video if it's enough interest in them. Um, they're kind of lazy most of the time, but I got one. He needs love and attention, and then I've got the other who, especially when I'm streaming, I'm here in what is effectively the family's storage room, but we have a desk in here that I can work on because I'm home. So that's also where I stream from. He likes to be like put his paw under the door and try to get in, and then I let him in and close the door behind him, and he's like turns around and puts his paw back under, like wanting back out. He's the epitome of the make a decision in or out kind of thing.
I hope you bring back souvenirs.
But maybe once I get enough subscribers and all that, there's enough interest, you know, kind of like similar to how a lot of others are doing like face reveals and the like. I can do cat reveals. Settle down, boyo. Or not. He does not want to settle. Oh, now he wants to settle down on my arm. You probably can't hear him, but he's very snoodly, I think is the best term for him. He's got a very nasally purr. And he comes off as that rather than like the deep, like chesty purr of the other cat. Lilia. Oh wow, I forgot about you. Have you given up on Jade? Yes. This is my way of making things right. I don't regret a thing. But now looking back, eloping was a bad idea. I mean, you know, what happens in Vegas stays on YouTube. I can't help but think that none of this would have happened to Jade if he'd never met me. He still has a home to go back to. What, you don't? What, did you like burn down your family household with the parents inside? You have a home to go back to as well. So if he has a chance at a normal, happy life, I want him to take it. He has amnesia, like every third person in this game. You got him, you got Sherry and Namiya, you have the protagonist who is Harvey in this stream. I think their official name is Ein, for some reason. I don't know. We don't know if his memory will ever come back, so this is for the best. And he might look for you when he remembers. Yes, I have heard of news. You know, they have entire channels dedicated to it. Or they claim it's news, at least. Oh. New Jeans K-pop group? I have not heard of that group. I'm not a big K-pop person. Or J-pop. I know. Considering I've got the whole, 2012 anime series as part of the basis of this, the fact that I'm not such a weeb that I'm huge on J-pop is kind of funny, but it is what it is. Even if he does, I won't meet with him. I'm planning to go somewhere far away from here. Lethe? There's not the whole. This is a very small planet. A town so far that no one has even heard of the Seaside Order there. And how are you planning on getting there? I don't know what you're saying that you like there. And maybe it's my font, but I mean, it looks like it says Precure, but I don't know what that is. Yeah, that doesn't increase the font. I was trying to increase the window size. You don't have to go that far. I've already made up my mind. There's no going back now. Oh, it's a magical girl anime? I haven't heard of it. Um, in that case, I won't say anything. Thank you. Oh, look, she's finding her jade hairpin. Oh, this. I think it was a jade hairpin. Or a comb or something like that. This is the hair accessory I was looking for. It meant a lot to you, didn't it? I mean, it was the one that he gave her. I can't believe I'm finding it now, after everything is already said and done. Chuck it in the ocean. Too bad, I don't need it now. Don't tell me you'll throw it away. Yes. Well then. Goodbye, Jade. I really did love you. Miss Lilia! I'm terrible at the voices for some of these characters. Jade? Did you get your memory back? No, he doesn't get his memory back. No one in this game gets their memory back. Well, no, Sherry does. Sherry gets her memory back. She's the one exception. Not yet. I just had to ask you something, so I came after you. What is it? I need to know. What kind of relationship did we have? I don't believe that you went out of your way to help me so much because you owed me anything. There has to be more to it than that. I get the feeling you and I were important to each other once. That maybe we loved each other. Loved. Jade. Don't continue that thought. Miss Lilia? What's that in your hand? This? It's a hair clip. I know that hair clip. Oh? Yeah, that's a present I got for someone a long time ago. Someone very special to me. There was nothing I wouldn't do for her. Hmm. It's been a long day for you, Jade. You need some rest. Miss Lilia? Your feelings got through to her. I'm sure she was really happy to know that's how you felt about her. Miss Lilia, are you... You can have the hair clip. Please, I want you to have it. See you, Haruhi. Goodbye, Jade. Oh, I wish you all the best? Question mark? I will remember, I promise. And when I do, I'll come and find you. So it's not goodbye, it's see you later. Until we meet again. I just hate that amnesia is such a prevalent thing in this game. And I went on rant about this last week. It's okay, yeah, it's a trope for this, especially this genre, for characters to, especially protagonists, to have amnesia. In large part because that's one of the things about Rune Factory. But this game takes it to obscene levels where every third character has amnesia, and they all deal with it in different ways, and it's just like amnesia's not that common, especially not the way you're using it in, the more typical media sense. And I'm still walking around with my animal feed, I just noticed. Hi. He's our Tamaki of this game. Hey, Harvey. Thanks for coming. I'm ready to talk now. I'll tell you all about Fiasola, like I promised. Well, Kingdom Hearts, it's a essential thing to like how the world works. In this, it's just like everybody has it for, oh, yep, something happened. Now I have amnesia. And it's usually, hey, we got attacked by monsters, or we got into an accident, or, like I said, I'm literally up to the final boss. Like, I fought the earlier form before. It's like, okay, I'm running away. You gotta fight me over here now. Kind of final boss. And you never get for why Haruhi, Stella, whatever you named your protagonist, has amnesia. At least I haven't. Maybe it comes up in the post game or final as you beat the final boss, but nothing ever comes of it. And my theory is that you didn't exist prior to this game. You were created by the creepy little girl with wings to save the world. But that's just my theory. We'll see if anything comes of it. Let's talk somewhere with nice scenery. It helps to set the atmosphere. Have you actually beaten the game yet? Because, like I said, I'm literally at the final boss of the game in my Stella playthrough, and it hasn't come up. Like everything else has come up, but like your past, your character's past, doesn't come up unless it's literally post final boss. Around here should be fine. Yep, looks good. Fiasola used to love this spot. She said she used to come here to ponder new inventions while looking out over Shatola. Oh, the orbit cradle and all that? Yeah. That's possible. It doesn't say that, like, it hasn't said that specifically at any point. Like, it tells you that, yeah, that's where Arya comes from. Like, she was up there and all that, but it doesn't say, like, you were a clone or anything like that. They treat you the same as any of the other Abels. What was Fiasola like? What was she like? She was a fellow inventor. I guess the best way to describe our relationship is that we were rivals. She was a weird one, but she had a way of drawing you in with her words. You know, it was her who said she'd go to the bottom of the ocean first. One time, we were out late in the tavern. Loading, loading, loading. Well, yeah, Fia Solo wasn't human. Fine, I'm going to the ocean floor. Are you feeling all right, Fiasola? Maybe it's time to go home. No, I'm fine. I'm serious, Hein. I decided a few days ago. I was swimming in the sea as usual when I got curious and felt like going a bit deeper. You know, you really worry me with these crazy ideas of yours. Don't worry, I found something really cool down there. You did? While I was diving down deeper, I saw a shipwreck. And not just any shipwreck. It was made of material like nothing we've ever seen on this planet before. Wow, sounds amazing. Did Fiasola? Probably not. But she didn't care either. I know, right? Why do you sound so uninterested? 'Cause I am uninterested. What? Aren't you curious to know what this unknown material could mean for our future? Not really. Ah, you have no sense of romanticism. This is why girls don't talk to you, you know. You're so clever as well. It's such a shame. I didn't ask for love advice, thank you. I see no point in having a partner, even if I had that kind of spare time. I'd rather put it towards my inventions. You never change. Ah well. Back to the shipwreck. It made me sure of something. There is still so much we don't know about this world. And if we delve deep into the seafloor, we're bound to find out more. Yeah, there's good like art fan work of most any game. You get fan stuff. That's why you want to go all of a sudden? Yeah. So you saw something down there. So what? You know, it's clear from her like her character model that her ears are sticking out past her hair, but it's not in like the sketch thing, which makes it clear that she's, as we learn later, a siren. Don't talk like going to the ocean floor is that easy. It's dangerous. If anything happened to you all the way down there, there's no way of knowing you'd make it back alive. Ah, are you worried about me? Come on, Fiasola, it's not worth it. If we've gone this long without that material, we don't need it now. We already have an all-purpose tool, Monolite. Isn't that good enough? Monolite? We're not heroes, Fiasola, we're inventors. Don't... Listen to me, Hein. Do you know what I call a world that's satisfied with everything as it is? A poisonous world. Huh? When people get comfortable, they lose their sense of inquisitiveness, and they stop moving forward. I wish she wasn't dead and that we could find her later in the game. That's what I wish. She's the most interesting character in this game, in my opinion. And we really only see her from, like, this scene here. I don't want to end up a boring inventor who only made mundane, everyday inventions. I want to push the limits of what people thought was ever possible. I know it's dangerous. I'm well aware that I may lose my life at sea, but I'm prepared for that. Oh. Even if I die on this quest, I'll have forged a path for others that will live on after me. Someday, someone will follow in my footsteps and make it even further than I did. At the very least, if my sacrifice could renew people's curiosity, that in itself would... Shut up! Don't talk so lightly about giving up your life like that. We learned a little bit about what happens to the, Well, it's not that she knew, she just knew that there was a risk. She didn't know she was gonna die, but she's like, you know what? It's worth it if I do. You know, it's exploration comes with risks, and the risks are well worth it. And my cat is climbing on everything now. You always take things so literally. It's not like I'm going in there intending to die. But once you die, that's it. There's no going back after that. Who cares what others do? You really are too stubborn. Your inventions won't go very far like that. You should open your mind a little more. My inventions are... I know. Why don't you go find a partner? What? It doesn't have to be romantic. A friend would do. Having someone to talk to would open your heart up a bit, too. I don't know what you're talking about. Hein is... He's a character very much like, if you've ever seen Hellron High School Host Club, he's very much a Tamaki character. He has depth to him that he doesn't necessarily show, but he's still not the deepest character at the same time. You know, there's deeper characters within the same game, within the same thing. So, oh yeah, he absolutely was in love with Fiasola. After that, Fiasola started making a submarine and journeyed to the seabed all by herself. Since then, no one has seen her again, myself included. Do you think she died? I mean, we never ever get confirmation the fact that she did die. We find her stuff, but he's like, maybe it's a sign that we can keep looking for her and all that. So theoretically, if there's a second game that doesn't take place too far in the future after this one, we could run into her again. But she's probably dead. Yeah. Who knows? She could have found a lost town down there and be living her best life. Or knowing her, she's probably still roaming around looking for new discoveries. That's why I made the submarine. To go and get her and tell her to come back to Shatola already. And my cat's trying to pull off my headphones, playing with the game. I'm sure you'll make it. Of course, this is what Fiasola was made for. Well, now you know about Fiasola. Has that settled your mind? Yeah, I saw that too, the American flag. And with what you learn later in the game, it's like, wait, how is that an American flag? Because, it's like you learn about the thing with the canes. This isn't the same world. This is a whole other world, whole other species of humans. Well, I know more about your past now too. But that, like, when I did that. Like, I was doing the character quests on my Stella playthrough much faster, so like I didn't get through to chapter 6 until it was already like fall. And so, like, for me, it was like, okay, that's very clearly that, you know, Arya didn't travel back in time, that she traveled forward in time, blah, blah, blah. That's all you need to know, really. There's nothing interesting about my past. Anyway, let's head back now. Oh, he wouldn't say in a baby harness. Cat, you need to settle down. Yes, you're a jerk. His name's Bagheera. The other one's named Shadow. He's the one that's, you know, the one that is usually the one that's like, let me in, let me out, let me in, let me out. Bagheera's usually much calmer during streams, but every now and then he gets uppity. Well, we're already up here. Let's do Estina's while we're here. No, I picked the wrong way. You made it, Hardy. So, as I said in the letter, Rosny got in contact and she said she wanted to meet in person or discuss something. This is where she said to meet. I don't think Fiasola was Emo's mother. I think we do learn the name of Emo's mother, and it wasn't Fiasola. And also, he's too young, and she's too young to have been Emo's mother. Emo's mother was down there when the bola went, and yada yada yada. I wonder what her motives are. I don't know what her intentions were telling us to come here, but we have to be careful not to fall into any traps. You really don't trust me, huh? Rosny, I almost thought you weren't coming. You said you wanted to talk face to face, but you're gonna still hide your face anyways. What is all this about? I said this last time we met, but just to make it clear, I have no intention of fighting with you. I'm not your enemy. If anything, I want to help you in whatever way I can. Do you really mean that? Come with me. The attacker should show up any minute now. What? How do you know? I'm guessing based on their behavior up till. It's up to you if you want to believe me or not. I don't know that I would want the soundtrack to this game. It's it's not bad, but it's just kind of there. I make fun of the soundtrack almost every single play session on the stream. Um, it's not, epic, awesome. I want to put down this controller and listen to it, like something like uh, the Nocturne combat music, or I don't remember the one. It's the song that everyone thinks is "One More God Rejected," but it's not. That's not the actual name and lyrics of it. But that Persona 5, like any of the Hashino personas, have great music. Stardew Valley, it's got stuff like that. It can be. It would be good music to sleep to, but it's not like, yeah, I want this soundtrack and I want to have it in the car while I'm driving. The one time every other week that I have to go into the office, and it's a 45, 50-minute drive. This isn't the soundtrack that I would want to listen to while doing that. Hmm. Well, Estina, are you coming? Let's go, Harvey. If Rosny's telling the truth, then this is our best shot at catching my imposter. Yeah, I think hers. I personally think that Estina's got the most interesting character quest. It reminds me very much of Persona 4 with confronting your shadow and coming to terms with who you are. Okay, ready? Follow me. Are you sure they're coming? The last time they were seen was in a cave near the capital. If they manage to slip out of the cave, then the next most likely place they'd go is Shatola. If their purpose is to attack people, then I'm sure they'll come here. Hmm. I am the shadow. The shadow knows. What was that? Did you hear that voice? I am the shadow assassin. It's another Estina? I don't know what you mean by the biggest question that this game came out before Pokemon Violet. I mean, don't get me started on Violet and Scarlet. That those were games made specifically for the Switch, and they should not have been that badly performing for their made essentially first party titles for this system. But I don't know what you mean by the biggest question if this game came out before those. It's another Estia. That's too good to be a disguise. Estina, what's going on? Don't ask me, I have no idea. Well, either way, you know what we have to do. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by what the biggest question is about this game coming out. What do you mean by that? Let's catch her. Finding out who she is can wait. Hmm. Who are you, exactly? Why are you attacking people? I am your shadow. I am the past you can't erase, and all of your crimes. My past? What? Huh? A smokescreen. She got away. Why are there two of you? I'd like to know that myself. Do you have any idea what's going on, Rosny? If I did, I would have told you already. True. At least that should have proven to you that I'm on your side, though. Do you believe me now? Yes, for now. Good. Well, the attacker got away, and I don't think standing around here will solve anything. So I'm going home. I agree. We should come back to this another day. Who, Estina or Rosny? Yes, Rosny is a girl. They say she's a girl. Is that alright with you, Hardy? But it's the exact same model that the male mercenary that in Brakka's thing shows up with, they use the exact same model. It's a nondescript figure in a black hood and a black cloak. So Rosny is female, but the model is not necessarily female. Well then, it's decided. See you later. I'll get in touch if I find out anything. Alright, I'll keep looking as well. Like if you check last week's episode, which was episode I think 13 for this last Sunday when we did Brakka's and we got to the girl with the Amadeus and we had the guy that killed him. It's the exact same model. You like whose clothes on? Ooh, Shadowwalker's Bonstorm. We got someone up to level 6. Hooray! That's the second character that we've done that with. Finally. Emo should be out here, unless it's a certain time specific one. There she is. I cannot do her voice well. She's got such a high pitched voice. You thought who was a girl? Hello, Harry. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry for calling you so suddenly. The bartender is letting me take the day off, and there's something I wanted to speak to you about. You have to rest from time to time. Yes, I know. Oh, Brakka? Yeah. Brakka's. Uh, he's a weird character. He's fun. Like, I make fun of the fact that he's got that hood that's just magically hovering in the air behind his head. It's not up on his head, it's just kind of hanging there, like off the back of his head. Whenever I look at the sea, I think about my home, of being with my mother, playing with my friends. But no, what I meant was Rosny during Brakka's character quest. You have the other mercenary, the guy who killed Amadeus, and then later on, in one of the later ones, we find out he took on some of Amadeus's essence and is becoming a thing as well. He has the exact same character model as Rosny. So you have the same character model, but one of the characters is female and one character is male. Brakka's got his own unique one, of course. Playing with my friends. My carmentation instructor was kind, but her lessons were always so scary. I remember it all so clearly. I haven't forgotten a single one of them. They're all important memories. You're right. Eh, I'm worried. You know you can talk to me. I've been wondering, is there something I can do? There's a lot of things you can do. For the sirens? For my hometown? Oh, you want to be specific. Hein once told me, we are the only ones left behind to remember those we lost. That all we can do is keep them alive in our memory. But is that really enough? Nobody in Chitola wants to remember Lorelei. That much is to be expected. But Lorelei was the sirens. When everyone speaks badly of them, it makes me feel so sad. But what can I do? You've been worrying about this all this time. I find it funny that she's the one who's named Emo, when Brakka is Emo. Like, he's an edgelord. And don't get me wrong, he's a fun character, but he's the definition of edgelord and emo and all that. But we named her Emo. She's the brightest, happiest person most of the time. You're right. No matter how much I think about it, I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do. Why not tell them the truth? That sounds scary. I'm not sure I can tell them the truth. What if it doesn't change anything? What will they think of me? I can't tell you it'll all be okay. Hmm. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't be more help. I'm going home. See ya. It's fine. Please don't worry. This is something I need to think about for myself. Still, I appreciate your help. I feel better now that I've spoken to you. Well, she's not human. She's a siren. I'm glad we had this talk. I mean, Fiasola was a siren as well. And, like, they hit it with her, like, the sketch portrait you see down at the bottom. But her character model made it very clear she had pointed ears. Which I guess you wouldn't notice on handheld, but, I mean, on a screen like this, no, it's very obvious. I'm always here if you need. Thank you. I will do what I can for the siren's memory. What emo wants? That should be the name of a song. Water orbs. Alright, we are basically done in this town. We can do the side quest, but we're not going to do that today. So, head on back. I haven't seen the new My Little Pony, so I don't have an opinion on it. I loved Friendship is Magic up to a point, and then it was like, okay, it's starting to recycle some stuff. I loved Equestria Girls, the spin-off. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I did. But no, I haven't seen the new stuff. So, and honestly, I don't really have a desire to. The animation looks kind of to me. It is what it is, but it's not an animation style that I particularly care about. At least the water outside my own. There we go. We have our Lycopenates planted. And we can harvest nectar cane.
Hello, little crappies.
Oh, is the new one supposed to be like a follow-up sequel? It's not like a reboot. It's the same universe as Friendship is Magic. Because usually they end up being
Hello,
reboots,
little crappies.
whatever generation that they
Hello,
do.
little crappies. Hello, little crappies.
Alright. There is really nothing left to do this day unless I just want to fish. Which I guess I can fish. It's not the most exciting thing to watch. But, you know, we got you here so I can chat, so that helps make it a little bit better. That's one of the problems is, like, most of the times that I'm on stream, there's no one on here. You usually pop in, say a few things, and then you kind of leave, it seems like. Um, so today it's been nice to have you here, and I've had another time where I've had someone who stayed to stream. And those are the ones where it's like, yeah, we can do the boring stuff to watch like this, because then I'm chatting with you. But when it's like just me, it's like, I can't do these things. These are boring. I'm trying to be entertaining to you guys. But yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, so, you know, that makes sense that it's different. I mean, obviously it's going to be different, but you're saying that you think that there was a canon behind characters from Gen 5. So, like, are these not the same ponies, just, or new variations of the new pony? So it's not like a new Twilight Sparkle, a new Rainbow Dash, a new all that in Gen 5? not the same characters from Friendship is Magic, because like Fluttershy, Rainbow Dash, these were characters that existed in earlier generations with different, like they were same name but different characters in a different universe and all that. So I don't know anything about Gen 5 other than I've looked at, like, I've seen pictures of it, and I'm like, I'm not into the animation style for it. You know, I saw a Switch game for it, and I'm like, I have no interest in that. If it was Friendship is Magic or Equestria Girls, I would like it, maybe. You know, licensed stuff can suck really badly, and often does. Um, but yeah, no, I haven't seen any of the Generation 5 My Little Pony. I watched a little bit of the earlier generations when I was a kid, and I had a couple of the toys, but it wasn't like really until Generation 4, the Friendship is Magic era, that I really got into it. Um, you know, I was a bit of a tomboy as a kid. I mean, yes, I had My Little Pony and all that, but I also did Transformers and um, like my Ninja Turtles and so on. Friendship is Magic was gonna get a game, but it was a fan made game, and they got told they had to stop. Like got hit with a cease and desist. It got remade. It actually got was it's a fighting game that actually released last year, I want to say, on the Switch, and it's called Them's Fighting Herds. So they changed all the characters from My Little Pony characters to like deer and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't going to be an officially licensed game. It was, like I said, it was a fan game, so that's why there was a cease and desist. But they got Lauer and Faust involved, and some of the others who were on Friendship is Magic involved with the art style and all that to make the lore and all that for the official one. So like, okay, we're gonna sell our own version. There we go. Lantern pumpkins. That's the one and only profitable crop. We got 22,500 from 6 of them. And that's, I was talking about that earlier, but yeah, here we go. The coconut sells for more than the coconut juice. That is one of the exceptions of processing. Makes you more money. We can make fan games, but we have to. Yeah, here's the thing: when you make something, you A can't sell it. You can't make profit off of it, and B it can't do anything that would damage the uh, image of the thing that you're making a fan thing of. So they were arguing that making a violent fighting game was in violation. It was hurting the brand of the family friendly Friendship is Magic kind of thing. And so that's where they could definitely get through, like if it went to court with that. Um, the copyright laws are really in depth when it comes to that kind of thing. But yeah, Lantern Pumpkins, that's your good money maker. That is your one good money making crop in the entire game. Your best other ways of making money from crops and your farm, other than that, is processing machines. Do we have a letter in here from Brakka yet? I want to get him to level 6 today before we finish, if we can. Nope. I don't know what fan game you're talking about. Both Arrowfell and Grim Eclipse were not fan. Well, Grim Eclipse was started as a fan game, and Rooster Teeth reached out and went, "Dude, we love this. We're gonna hire you on, and we want you to do more with this." And so that's it. It is an official game, and it's got like the voice actors and all that behind it and everything. It's official. It's canon, etc. It's got the seal of approval. It's not just a fan game anymore. And then Arrowfell was again a officially licensed title. Um, and sometimes that happens, but you know, the game that was gonna be the My Little Pony fighting game, Hasbro was like, that is damaging our brand of the My Little Pony brand. We can't have this. Yeah, Grim Eclipse, and it's a good game. Yeah, I know. I played it. I've got it. it started as a fan game, but it's not a fan game anymore. Um, Good example uh, from other stuff is uh, AM2R, the another Metroid 2 remake, came out about the same time that Nintendo, like it got the cease and desist and got pulled down. But if I remember right, the guy behind it got hired on to um, work with Mercury Steam and help them out with. It wasn't Samus Returns because they were already in the works with that, but I think he worked with Metroid Dread. He got hired on to help on with stuff. So even saying, "Hey, we're gonna pull that," we're gonna pull a cease and desist on you, doesn't mean that they can't go. But we like what you did, and we want you to do it officially for us. So you're stuck on the final what? Arrowfell, like or the final chapter of Grim Eclipse. I've played so much Grim Eclipse. I haven't played it in forever, but yeah, I played a ton of it. I'm missing like 2 achievements on it, I think. Which one of them was like get the entirety of Team Juniper in one playthrough. But Eden Rice. We will harvest these Eden Rice. The pumpkins there. Yeah, Grim Eclipse. It helps to have a good group. It also helps to have, obviously you're leveling and all that.
Looks like some of the crops are ready for harvest.
Oops.
Hello,
Arafel is alright. It's a side scroller basically. It plays a lot like a Metroidvania, like a 2D Metroidvania. Um, it's not a bad game. I haven't played a ton of it though, so I can't speak too in depth on it. I've only played like the first couple stages, but you can keep going back to them, and it's not quite a Metroidvania because you have like a surface map that you go back to, and yada yada yada. Um, let's do 9 of these in coffee. I haven't even seen Ruby Volume 8, which I know as a Ruby fan is like whatever, but I like more of the spin-off stuff for Ruby than I've liked what happened with like Volume 6 and 7. So I never got around to Volume 8. I'll probably watch it once it's on Crunchyroll now, since Volume 9 is going to be there too. Um, let me sell some of these. These hardly get used for anything, and they don't get processed into anything. But I liked Chibi. I enjoyed Chibi, but like what I mean, like I like the side stuff. Um, it's the books, the after the fall and the Roman holiday and stuff like that. The was it Chrissy Myers or something like that? Released ones are really good. I haven't seen any of Volume 8, so I don't know what happened there. Um, these elements. Uh, I forget why I came in here. Oh, right. Over. And do 9 of those. Of those. Yeah, volume 6 and 7, I mean, they're okay. It's just I don't know. I mean, the series has kind of gone down ever since Monty died. he was definitely the big visionary of it, and he had a lot of the quality, behind like the animation and all that. It's not bad now, it's just different, and sometimes different is, whatever. And sometimes they have to pad stuff out, and good stuff has to be padded out sometimes. Um, a good example is the Quest for Glory games. They had to add an entire game in there because they realized that the character wasn't going to be strong enough for what they had in mind for the final game or the next game in the series or something like that. So they had to add in a whole other one. So padding is sometimes necessary, and it's not always bad, but it happens. Um, and it feels like there's a lot of padding sometimes in some of the volume sixes, like from volume 4 on. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's bad. I don't know. I want to say thank you from email. I would like to say thank you for talking to me earlier. So would you meet me at the bar? I will treat you to a meal. I just saw you yesterday. Why can't I get one from Brakka that fast? She wants to talk about the attacker, Istina. For now, it looks like our goals were aligned with Rosny's, which makes me feel better, but only a little. She contacted me again. Apparently she's got something she wants to discuss about the attacker. She said she'll be waiting at the Njord step. Let's go and meet her there. And this is just the beginning from Jade. I've been living with my family ever since that day, and every day has been peaceful. There's still no sign of my memories coming back, but I'll never stop trying. Lilia wouldn't tell me anything for all that time. I won't stop until I understand why she would treat me with such kindness. And when I do, I will go to meet her again and repay her in full. I don't know that I would say Ruby has ADHD. I think that they had a really big plan, and then they went, "Oh shit, we can't get there from here. We need to do some steps in here and add in, and you know, filler. We had to find ways to, it's like, okay, we need to figure out the right way to get from point A to point Z in a proper order. You know, see, she's up on the top thing there. No, she's on the other side. Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of plot holes. Everything's got plot holes. This game has plot holes. Even the best of stuff has plot holes. Now it's not always overt or bad, but there's always plot holes. Rosny. Mysterious figure in a black cloak. Glad you could both make it. I'll get straight to the point. There's something I want to tell you about the attacker we've been looking for. Don't tell me. You figured out who she is? Not exactly, but I remembered something that you should probably hear. I don't know why you would be shocked about any of the maidens being old. I mean, they don't have to be young. It's just, hey, until they die. That was one of the things with Amber is she was young and inexperienced with her powers. That's why Cinder got the jump on her. I mean, everyone was always assuming that the Winter Maiden was going to be, someone in Weiss's family. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen Volume 8, but not exactly. But I remembered something about that you should probably hear. What do you mean? Shadow always exists dormant within the self. Therefore, when the self wavers, the shadow takes over. Doubting yourself amounts to a death sentence. The only way to break free from self-doubt is by controlling your shadow and becoming the master of yourself. Where did you hear that? I asked the chief about the power of your shadow once, and that's what he said. Those were his words? Who's the chief? He was in charge of the organization. Just think of him as the leader. I don't remember them ever telling us that maidens don't age. Where did you hear the maidens don't age thing? He's the one who took me in when I had no one. He raised me to be a member of the gang. I learned everything I know about fighting from him. But he never said those words to me. What does that all mean? Why did he tell you? He was always worried about your shadow getting dangerously out of control. Out of control? I don't know what exactly he meant by that, but my guess is he didn't tell you because he didn't want you questioning yourself even more. So he told me never to tell you for your own sake. He didn't want me questioning myself. When the self wavers, the shadow takes over. So that attacker is my self doubt, my shadow gone dangerously out of control. Is this what the chief was worried about? It's quite likely. If that's your shadow, then that would explain why she looks like an exact copy of you and calls herself the Shadow Assassin. Will she disappear if you stop doubting? That would probably get rid of her. But only Estina can do it. My self-doubt. Yeah, you're talking like all the stuff that I haven't seen. Like again, I haven't seen Volume 8, and I haven't seen Volume 7 since it first came out years ago. So I have to rewatch everything. Like I've got the first, I want to say 5 volumes, 6 volumes on DVD, but I haven't gotten Volume 7. Like I don't think I might not have Volume 6 or 7 on it. But Rooster Teeth has had a lot of issues over the years, especially when they started diverting money and time and all that from Ruby towards Genlock. Well, we don't actually show. Oh, you're saying that you wish that they'd shown us Raven fighting the Spring Maiden because we never actually saw who the Spring Maiden before her was. But I mean, it would be nice to know, see, but it's not necessary for the plot, and it would have padded things out even further. So I understand why they didn't do it. Do you think about what happened that day has something to do with it? The day you left the gang? Oh, you haven't told them. Wait, Rosny, I'll say it. This is something they ought to hear from me. Yeah, our Haruhi is non-binary. That's one of the reasons I really wanted to do this game to be better. Is it's one of the first real ones. Like you have it occasionally in smaller indie titles where you can be non-binary, or where you just kind of default to being non-binary. Like I'm trying to blank on what the heck it's called. Let me pull it up. Uh, if I can. It's not Sun Valley. It's Verdant Skies. Verdant Skies, you kind of default to being non-binary. So that was one of the reasons I was really hoping this game would be better because it's the first like big, effectively AAA. I mean, they're not treating this like a AAA, even though Square Enix is a AAA company. This is more of a AA production by them, which is also part of my disappointment is that you have a AAA company producing AA stuff, but Square Enix does that a lot. They released so many games last year that um, I think they should have spread them out a bit. And some of them were just ports and remasters, like the Live Alive and whatnot. But they did like 2 different versions of the cards thing. I don't know that I would say they ruined it for Final Fantasy. Um, I mean, they were 2 different teams. or rushed it. Yeah, I don't know that they rushed it for Final Fantasy. There are two different teams. I don't know what happened with this one. I think a lot of it boils down to it's their first time really trying the farming life sim aspects, and they also went, okay, here's a lot of things that are cool from other games that are really popular, like the social links system and Persona. So that's why they have the character quests the way they do, and they were trying to get on the hype of all these other games and try to put it together, and they didn't take the effort and the time to realize why these things are popular and how they're implemented in a way that they're popular. They don't have Square Enix doesn't really have a lot of experience with the farming life side of things, for example. So, others who do reviews regularly, like if you watch Switch Up, they talk about in their review that they felt like the farming aspects of this were kind of tacked on. Um, and I see where they're coming from. I think it's a little more in depth than most people give it for credit for, but it's still nothing compared to other big names in that blend of stuff. It's slightly more in depth than the farming in Skyrim, you know, where you have all these things you can plant them and just come back a few days later and they're grown. But it's nothing like games that make it a core dedicated aspect of it, like Rune Factory and Stardew and so on, where that's the important what they focus on. So I don't know that it was rushed. I think it was a matter of inexperience as well as trying new things that they are like inexperience with the stuff that they're trying and not fully understanding what makes it good and how to make it good. It still haunts me to this day. I'll never forget. It's etched vividly in my memory. The day I killed my fellow gang members with my own hands. Hmm. They decided to rebel. Some members of the gang wanted to overthrow the chief, so a fight broke out between us. I was ready to die fighting to protect the chief and the organization he'd created. But I was fighting the very same people I'd been sent out on missions with. Oh, and my cats are going at each other on the door. One by one, I stole their lives away. I'm going to say nothing. And I listen. I don't know if what my see. I honestly don't know that my time for Portia was rushed for the Switch. Um, I do know that my time at Portia was. I mean, the Pythia Games are kind of an indie developer. They're a small indie developer team out of China. So it was originally a PC title, and then they're like, okay, we promised console ports eventually, and we got around to them. But Switch is very different software and hardware to everything else, so I think it was a porting issue. It may have been rushed, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't picked it up. Um, it would be good to have it on portable, but the performance on that for me is like, I don't know. I have it on my laptop. I can play that on the go. And that's not one that I just want to be able to pick up and put down at any given moment, like any of these other games. That's one I really wanted to sit down and dedicate time to. Yeah, the console ports. I think it's the first time that they've ever ported anything to consoles. Um, I mean, Stardew Valley's mobile port, they just got the 1.5 thing, and it's tons of glitches too. So when you make something for PC and then you try to port it to other systems, it has issues. It's going to have issues. Um, I think the problem is that Pathea hasn't come back to patch it. Um, is what your real issue is. Because like this one's been out for like 3 months or so, and it hasn't had a patch yet either. Square Enix has basically just released this into the wild. They barely marketed it. Most of its marketing came from like Nintendo Directs and stuff like that. Um, it hasn't been patched any. On my one of my first, I did a video after about a month of the game being out, reviewing it, and I was I came off harsher on it than I think I am. It's like, because I was so disappointed. And someone first remarked, well, this is Square Enix. They always come back and add more to the games and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, no, they don't. They make games and they release them in the world and they forget about them. Yeah. My time of worship, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Again, they're a Chinese developer, so they're gonna do things a little weirder. They're not a Japanese developer. And they've got, the Porsche type games have the same issue that you'll find in a lot of the Elder Scrolls games where you have a lot of voice acting, where you'll have characters who will pronounce words different ways. So, like, you'll have some characters who pronounce it Porsche, and that's most of them. And then you'll have others who say it Portia in game. And it's like, So, you're going to run into that, and they're not going to fix it. They had the same thing in Sandrock. There's a few words that's like, you're pronouncing it that way? Really? Everyone else is pronouncing it this way. Maybe you'll come back and fix it. Like Core, CORPS. You got characters who pronounce it corpse. The civil defense corpse. It's like, that's not that word. I don't blame you for looking at me that way. But Estina, if you didn't do what you did that day, the chief would have been killed. I would have been too, probably. I know, Rosny, but I'll never be able to wash their blood off my hands. When it was all over and I saw their bodies scattered on the floor, I knew I couldn't be one of them anymore. I killed my own teammates in cold blood. More than anything, I was scared of myself. That's why you left? You left without saying anything. At the time, that was my only option. It's ironic, really. I had to run away from the very place I fought so hard to defend. I did not know that Grim Eclipse was on Switch. I wouldn't want to play it on Switch. The Switch has got terrible connectivity with multiplayer, and Grim Eclipse is best as a multiplayer title. I mean, you can play it solo, but it's a lot harder. Estina. Well, Harvey, now you know the kind of person I am. With blood on my hands, I look after the kids at the orphanage to try and make up for my crimes. The truth is, I don't deserve to live in the Mia. Sorry I kept quiet about it all this time. You must be disappointed now that you know the real me. Actually, I want to marry you more. But that's because I play Assassins and like Elder Scrolls titles, like, or Nightblades, that kind of thing. So no, that's not true. Yeah, that's like I said, I wouldn't want to play. The Switch is not the platform I would want to play for online multiplayer. Um, don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge online multiplayer fan. If I am, it's going to be co-op. Like Mass Effect Andromeda, I loved the multiplayer on, and that's probably the last major multiplayer game I played. But the Switch is absolutely not something I would want to play multiplayer unless it's like a local co-op or a local competitive kind of thing. Um, but like the closest I've done to multiplayer on Switch is like if I'm playing Animal Crossing, going into my own, like opening my gates and letting my friends come to my town or going to their town or that kind of thing. I don't do a whole lot of multiplayer-ish stuff on the Switch. You are sweet, trying to console me. That shadow is made out of my self-doubt. Maybe you're right, Rosny. Ever since I was asked to take over the orphanage, I've been trying harder and harder to forget my past. This is what the chief meant about my shadow getting dangerously out of control. I have played Fatal Bullet. I have it on both Switch and PC, and I prefer different builds on different systems. On Switch, I like a good like run and gun SMG, AR, assault rifle, that kind of thing build. On PC, because it's a little bit more better, easier with the mouse versus the cursors, that's where I like to do the snipers. But yes, I do have a Fatal Bullet. Estina. It's as if the brighter I try to shine, the darker my shadow gets. The closer I get to living the light of the sun, the more painfully aware I become that I don't belong here. I bet that's what my shadow is trying to tell me. It's the personification of your guilt. It's your shadow. It's literally your Jungian shadow. It's persona. Yeah, I guess it is. I haven't played God Eater on here. Or at all. Um, if I remember what God Eater is, it's basically a Monster Hunter type game where you're fighting big monsters and all that, right? Maybe I don't belong here after all. I don't think that's true. I think you're right where you belong. Hmm. What I do know is that shadow has been going around attacking people without my knowledge, and I'm going to have to face my past if I want to stop it. Hurry, Rosalind. Could you give me some time? I need to think this through. Hmm. Either way, it won't stop until you face your demons. So it's up to you now. Uh, I am getting congested, and I should probably go start making dinner here soon. I'm sorry I've caused you both trouble, but please stick by me a bit longer. We've been going for about 3.5 hours, and my dinner, I'll probably have to duck out in about 15-20 minutes to go get my dinner started so I have something ready by 7 o'clock. Because aside from like a snack, I haven't had anything since about 2:30ish. And with my diet, it's like I'm constantly eating. It's either a meal or a snack every couple hours. All that good stuff. But hey, I've lost a lot of good weight. I've lost 30 pounds in 6 months, so it's working. And it's, healthy weight loss. It's not like the crash diet where you lose 30 pounds in 2 weeks and then you go off it and you can put it all back on. It's a good, healthy, steady pace. You think the God Eater storyline is better than the Monster Hunter? Is that what you're saying? Like I said, I'm not even sure I was remembering what it is properly. I could be wrong about it not being a Monster Hunter style thing. When you think of Nemia, the first thing to come to mind must be the cherry blossoms, wouldn't you agree? Behold the way the petals dance like snow. Do they not seem to dance with more vigor in celebration of my visit? Yeah, I don't know. That's not a genre that I'm huge on. I might give it a shot. I've got a huge backlog of especially of RPGs. I've got an entire case that holds like I think it's something like 72 cartridges, and some of them have multiple cart games on them. Like I'm still working my way through the Atelier games, and those come out one a year. Um, I've still got other stuff. There's new games coming out all the time. I haven't finished a lot of the Pokemon titles. Mind you, Pokemon's not my biggest thing. It's like I enjoy the series, but it's not like, oh yeah, I'm a dedicated fan. Like I would not be a PokeTuber. I started with Pokemon on the channel because I was wanting to do it in honor of Sword and Shield coming out, and I got delayed. But you know, it's not like, yes, this is my life. This is what I'm going to make my life be about. You know, and there might be people who want to do that with Harvestella, and more power to them. I'm not one of them. The vista was much like this when I came with the princess. What a relief that these petals are not make-believe as well. Moving on, we can bask in the blossoms all day, but we're here about the princess, who doesn't exist, except in my memories. According to my recollection, we only visited this town together once. She didn't visit more often? As a member of the royal family, she was not free to travel as she wished, you see. Her days beyond the castle walls were limited and only allowed on the condition that she keep her identity a secret. Thus, she could only conceal herself and observe the common folk going about their daily business. And she concealed herself by walking around with a unicorn. Yeah. Yeah, the farming RPGs. That's the whole thing. Like the farming RPGs is what this channel's going to be. Um, you know, I'm gonna in the next few days put out a get onto Google Forms and all that, and make like its little uh, couple question poll listing some series and all that, and see, hey, what do you guys want to see next? Um, Probably moving on to like the My Time at Portia, My Time at Sandrock, Room Factories, maybe Stardew Valley. There's a lot of Stardew Valleys out there, so I would kind of get buried in them. But he's working on Haunted Chocolatier, so that's technically a series now. So yeah, no, I get you. Nonetheless, she seemed jubilant in the eyes of the princess witnessing the Mia, and its people must have been new and refreshing. Her eyes sparkled like gemstones, and we would walk to and fro between all manner of locations. This next part isn't essential to the story, but that evening, once all the townfolk had returned home, that was the time the princess and I would find to be the most precious. She would sit upon my back as I galloped along the rows of cherry trees. The sensation was outstanding. Who, the princess is? No, the princess is not Arya. The princess is entirely made up. They're implanted memories in him by one of the omens or some of the earlier omens, and then they disappeared. So he's like, he doesn't even have an answer why they're there. His whole quest chain here is figuring out like his memories and what he wants to do with them. Then he learns about why they were made, and yada yada yada. And there's hints early on that there was another unicorn kind of thing, blah blah blah. His is probably the weakest of the character quest chains in the game. Um, Cress's is probably the closest to a Persona social link in that she's very much like, here's the problem, and here's how I view it, and I got to reverse my entire view on things throughout the course of it. Um, so yeah, his unicorn has his character quest, and it's okay. It's not great. I think Cress's has done better. I love Estina's probably my favorite one. I think his is the worst. You know, can I ride your back sometime? Do well enough with your duties as my footman, I may one day consider it. But I digress. When the princess rode on my back, she was as giddy as a young girl. It was honestly quite adorable. And then the princess, she did something happen. Oh no, I just recalled something she said to me. She said, if ever we are apart, know our hearts will always be together. Being of different species, she and I meant that our time together was limited. She said what she did, lamenting the fact that there would be an end to how long she could ride with me. Yeah, we never get to ride him. Our hearts will always be together. That memory has stuck with me quite firmly, even though she was never with me to begin with. Those omens are quite the masters of fiction, are they not? It is a painfully frustrating thing. Yeah, he learns out that he's basically, not only are his memories false, but he's false. He was created off of like the memories and legends of old unicorns from Lost Gaia, the old Earth, our Earth. But that is still an important memory. It is. Anyway, let us move on. I haven't played Calico, so I don't know about the bird writing. Those are the memories with the princess that I have of this place. And you really want to lose them? You again try to weaken my resolve? I have already decided to erase these memories. Haruhi, thank you for accompanying me today. I'm glad I was able to relive these memories one last time before they are lost forever. As for the next location, I would like to head to Shatola. Much like this place, it was another town the princess visited incognito. Shatola. Do not forget. Oh, of course you will. I will just send a letter just in case. Until then, Haruhi. Yesterday and once more. Yeah, his quest chain is like cresses and then only gives items. It does give you the level 2 feed maker recipe, which is slightly better than the level 1. To give you an idea, you put up like grass or wheat in the level 1 and you get 4 feedback. Level 2, you get 5 feedback. And then with the level 3 one that you get through the Canelo dolls, you put in 5 of them and you get 30 back. The level 3 ones are way the heck better. Yeah, Unicorn's not a great character. He's very arrogant and rude, blah blah blah. Anyways, you know what? I'm getting ready to call it a day. I'm getting hungry. It's basically dinner time. I need to put some stuff in. So let's call it a night on that. I will be back next week. Definitely gotta go put some food in. And it's gonna take about 20 minutes to cook, so we can play a little bit longer, I guess. But we're definitely gonna be coming up close to calling it a day. So that's just kind of the heads up warning. I don't know if you want to still stick around and let me play and watch me play for another 15 minutes, or you just want to call it a session here. Yeah, I'll catch you next week. And don't forget, I'm on Saturdays and Sundays. And I start again 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. So you were actually here for almost the entire session. You only missed the first hour or so, which was fine because like the first 30 or 40 minutes my OBS was frozen on the screen. I play over here I have a dual monitor set up and I've got like the capture screen from my capture card, as well as the chat from OBS on one screen, and I have the OBS controls over on the other. And it wasn't until I looked over to the controls that I noticed it had frozen up. So, sounds good. We will end it here then. For everyone else who's watching later in the week, times are there. Comment, like, subscribe, yada yada yada, and keep your eyes out for the things. Also join the Discord. Definitely YouTube Autumn, go join the Discord. That's where I announce all the new videos, all the streams when I go live. And I just bumped things, so hopefully you'll probably see that get bumped there, but we'll catch you guys next time on Saturday. We will definitely finish Brakka's quest as soon as we get it, but otherwise we'll continue in chapter 7.